goobers. How's it going? Let's get the lighting situation figured out. Let's get my hair back down. Oh my god, it has been a fucking couple weeks, hasn't it? Maggles has become a member on YouTube. Thank you. Thank you. I probably don't do enough for you guys over on the memberships. I apologize for that. Also just haven't really had a lot going on lately, so there's not a lot to say. But thank you so much for your support. I really, really appreciate that. Let me get everything in its place now. Oh, by the way, if you haven't yet hit the like button, please consider doing it. There's going to be a poll in the chat, but I forgot to do it until just now. Nope, I can't type. Go. I'm so glad that this function exists. I didn't really clock that I could be using this on my channel until just recently. No! I always gotta get that secret third option in there. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Alright, so let me get my chat. Back up. Oh my gosh, girls. Girls, gays, and theys. It's been, it's really interesting because I just was reviewing some of my calls from the past couple of months over, so basically, you know, if you follow me over on Q&A line, I've started putting clips over here with some commentary over the top, and I was just, you know, looking through clips from the last month, and like mid-October, I was like, I'm doing fine, but the world is on fire. And then I'm like, wow, it literally took, I think, less than a week after that before I was like, wow, yeah, depression has hit like a truck. So just gonna drop a G word with a hard R first thing. Exactly. Hi, Viren. Hi, Mama. There's Drea. Faulty Branches. Hello. There's Noah. And hello, everybody in the YouTube chat. Quantum Chaos, Mabs, Trinket, Dally, of course, Meggles, Banana Brains, Daddy Mad Hatter. What a fucking name. Sweet Dream, the unapologetical anarchist. Hello. I'm so fucking tired right now. I can't tell it's from me getting the flu vaccine earlier or something else. It could definitely be that. It could definitely be that. World on fire sounds accurate. Just wait for next summer when it will be literal. Yeah, I was noticing that the people who are from here, from Oregon, were saying that this was like a pretty mild winter. Or sorry. Wow. A pretty mild summer. Like it was less hot than people were expecting it to be this summer. So, yeah, that's good. I'm glad. And then it does mean that I'm like scared for next summer because I'm legitimately pretty sure that my tinnitus is worse now at the end of the summer. Like the constant ringing in my ears. I think it's way worse because having the air conditioner running was so fucking loud. Like, oh my God, legitimately just so loud. So I'm thinking of getting a new one for next summer. It's weird to live your best life in some ways while the world burns down. I'm flying to Buffalo tomorrow to film clown content during a fascist takeover. Well, that's fun. Yeah, although I will, like, I'm saying, like, for about a week or so there, I was like, girl, I feel so much better. And then just for the last several weeks now, like, what is it now? It's like November 12. It's November 12. That recording was from 10/16. And I would say starting sometime around October 22nd is when I was like, oh, no, the plummet. I have plummeted out of what I thought was like a slightly better headspace than usual. And that's just kind of what my life has been like for the last 2 weeks. We're trying to find the bad bitch. You know, when you're like, I need to find the bad bitch within. So today is kind of the first day in a few weeks that I've made literally any effort with my appearance. It has fully been... Oh, and Calm Jane. Okay, cool. Good to see you. I've been fully like in the bathrobe for several weeks. The irony is that because of my tinnitus, I actually prefer having some background noise. I tend to have a fan running 24/7, 365 in my room at night. No, at nighttime, always have a fan. Although I do think that it's like the fan might be too loud because I wake up in the morning sometimes and my ears are fucking ringing. So, yeah, it's like background noise can help you be distracted from it, but if the background noise is too loud, then it's just like it just makes your symptoms worse. So, yay. Coming out of a depression hole of the past 9 months has been wild. Yeah. Honestly, I've been like it's been coming and going for a while. And I think finally it's just reached a place where I like can't continue to pretend like it's not happening. So, yeah, that's I'm trying to communicate with the people close to me is like I like this is the closest I've been to a crisis in a long time. Like I feel like dog shit every day and I still feel like everybody around me expects me to be like pretty normal in that way where, you know, when you're super depressed and you're like, I barely have the energy for things that I actually fucking care about, much less things that like, even in the best of times, I'm like, and I don't think, okay, actually, I want feedback on this. Does this make me a terrible person? If somebody I care about is like, I'm really interested in this thing, and I'm like, wow, couldn't fucking care less. But I keep all of that to myself, and I just go like, oh yeah, no, I think that's cool. Like, and so you're consistently like, you know, seeming cool about it and like asking questions, going like, oh yeah, well, oh, you know, that thing you were doing. Oh yeah, that's cool. Like, do you like, is that bad for me to be like, even in the best of times, I don't care about something that somebody I love is interested in, but I like still kind of like when they talk to me about it, I just go like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm like positive about it and I ask questions and I'm like, oh, oof, that sucks or whatever. Like, you know, but I don't care, right? And so like if I'm depressed, like the energy to pretend like I care about stuff that I don't care about ever, boy howdy is it a lot harder than usual. Again, I don't even enjoy the things that I enjoy right now, much less pretending to enjoy the things that you enjoy. But the expectation is still there, so I just have been like, and my cup gets emptier and emptier. It's great. Anyway, I'm having a bad time. Sounds like masking to me. Yeah. It feels like that's just a normal thing that you do for people you care about. But I just don't I just can't. But I keep having to, so I keep doing it. So I think I'm feeling a little bit salty because I feel like I've tried to communicate to people that I'm feeling depressed, but like the expectations haven't changed at all. Like I feel like when you tell someone you're depressed, the expectations should maybe change. And maybe you ask them questions about them and what's going on with them or what they're interested in instead of being like, I kind of just expect you to care about the things that I care about. I'm like, okay, great. So anyway. Okay, it's not just me. Struggling to pretend I care about a lot of stuff lately. Yeah, absolutely, Quantum. I'm tired, boss. Fucking true. Literally, some people grunt when people they care about tell them stuff. Your effort proves the care. Thank you. Thank you, Bradley. I appreciate that. Yeah. I've definitely been on the receiving end of that in the past. So. Fucking anhedonia. True. Yeah, that's kind of what I feel, Drea. Saying I express interest in the person more than I do their activities. Yeah, it's like, and I think that for some people, if they share something that they're in, and I've done this too. Like, if I share something that I'm interested in with someone, it's usually because I also feel like that thing is important to me somehow, or it like I feel passionate about it, or I feel like some part of myself is invested in whatever it is, right? Like if I was trying to get somebody to watch The Last of Us, I would be like, this is a personally important story to me. I don't really know why it is exactly. I couldn't pinpoint it precisely, but if I'm sharing that with someone, then like I feel like I'm sharing something about myself. And so I feel like there's a thing that people do where like because there is a limit to our ability to be vulnerable, we will sometimes use these third party things as a proxy. So if you don't show interest in the thing that the person is interested in, it feels like rejection of the person. And I like, that's how I feel. Like I honestly do not try very hard to get people into the things that I'm into because I don't want to deal with the feeling of rejection. Like I have the avoidant personality. I find it much easier to just like not bother investing in personal relationships in that way. What is anhedonia? Well, Daddy Mad Hatter, thank you so much for asking. Anhedonia is a symptom of depression that is characterized by an inability to enjoy things that usually bring joy, right? So I probably should have noticed that I was depressed several months ago when I was like, yeah, I just don't want to play World of Warcraft. Like, I don't know why, but I just don't. Like, I just don't want to. I just don't. And it's like, oh, dumbass. Yeah, this is like a game that you've played for half of your lifespan at this point. It's you enjoy it most of the time. Most of the time you want to play it. Why don't you want to play it right now? And it took me literally like a month or two after the first time I said that to be like, oh, I am depressed. So one of my biggest flaws interpersonally is my great inability to feign interest. Yeah. It's frustrating when men don't do it. Like, I'm just being honest. It feels like a very one-sided thing, specifically on a gendered axis, where, yeah, like men broadly don't even feel compelled to feign interest. Like maybe you do feel like you're supposed to, at least, but I feel like a lot of men are just like, yeah, why would I do that? Ooh, what's avolition? Avolition. I gotta Google that one. Avolition. A lack of motivation, drive, and interest in activities that were previously enjoyable or necessary. Why is that distinct from anhedonia? Persistent inability or reduced ability to experience pleasure or joy in activities that were previously enjoyable. This is one of those moments where I'm like, you've just created two different terms that mean the same thing. But also, I am feeling very bitchy, so I'm not blaming you, Faulty Branches. I'm just annoyed at the field of psychology. That's me with archery and no, archery and playing bass. I went from doing both every day to now I haven't picked up my bass or my bow in over a year. Oh, I feel so bad for you. But I feel I do the same thing. I'm like, I don't care. I haven't picked up this guitar in like at least a couple of months. And I've got all kinds of little stuff that I would like to be doing, but I just don't care about any of it. I don't look like I'm depressed. Thank you. Yeah. I did try to do something with my appearance today. So I've got a little bit of makeup on, you know, very subtle eyeliner. The annoyance is shared. Okay, good. I usually try to be honest in telling someone that I am more interested in them than in the activity specifically. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, sure. That's great. That doesn't always work with people who are uncomfortable with direct communication and vulnerability, which is a decent number of people. But I wish that I could live in a social net, like a social web that allowed me to be as straightforward as all that with all of my loved ones. Katie Wilson, one in Seattle. She's a big progressive that emphasizes trans rights and a very progressive / socialist agenda. Hey, that's so great. What was she going for? I don't remember. I'm glad. At the local level, girl, we can make a difference. We can actually make things happen at the local level. Oh my God, true. Soft daydreams. I had this back in the day too. Working retail, it feels so bad when I'm not interested in my customer's life story. I get some older people who talk a lot because they're lonely or bored, but I also have a job, so truly, yeah. It's like, oh yeah, you know, my boss expects me. I used to work the overnights at a truck stop gas station. So I would be cleaning. Well, there was an expectation to be cleaning stuff, right? It was a huge store. So there were two of us scheduled to be there overnight, which is probably pretty abnormal for a lot of gas stations overnight. Usually there's one attendant, but it was a huge store. So one of us would be like stocking the cooler overnight, which is a big job, right? You know, especially if they didn't get to it, or like if they did it early in the night and then they had a big fucking basketball game or some shit come through. So the person who's stocking the cooler is gone for more than an hour often, and the person who's at the register isn't really expected to, it's not stand at the register time. It's stocking on the floor. It's cleaning the inside of the cappuccino machines. Depends on what time of the night you're doing it, whatever. But there's always an expectation that the person on the floor is doing something else. And then like later on, the person comes out of the cooler and they have floor duty, and the person who was on the floor goes back and starts prepping fucking breakfast sandwiches or something. And yeah, the people who want to stand there and talk to you, and like, I literally, like, my boss is going to be irritated with me if they check the cameras and I'm just standing here talking to you for 20 minutes. Like, I literally am in the middle of something on the other side of the store. But you can't be straightforward and be like, hey, I gotta go, because then that's rude, and then the customer's gonna call and complain. Ugh. I once had a guy who locked me in for like genuinely. He kept talking to me through the whole time he was in the store. He was like, oh, I just got over my gambling addiction, so I have a bunch of extra money to spend. And maybe he just got back in town or something. So he was like, it was a truck stop that has a lot of those like, little bullshit things that you can buy, like the little, why are those weird fairy statues so common among truckers? Or at least they were back in the day. Anyway, so I had a store that had a lot of gift items. This dude spent a forever walking around the store, engaging me in conversation while he's picking stuff up. He's like, oh, I get to see my kid. I'm so excited. Ugh. I remember it to this day. It's been 10 years. Sometimes I forget that music exists for a few weeks and then rediscover it. Oof. Americans don't have a night pay window and lock the store up at night. So this situation was a truck stop gas station, meaning it can't be closed like that overnight. Like, these truckers, they don't always use the same. They don't always have a company credit card. Sometimes they have a special company card that has a different kind of currency that has to be run on a totally different machine. And also it's a rest stop situation. So it's like a bathroom, and the bathrooms are inside the store. So yeah, no, it had to be open all night. Okay, the distinction in psychology between anhedonia and avolition. Anhedonia is the specific lack of enjoyment, whereas avolition is the inability to have motivation to do a task at all. Yeah, I mean, I guess then avolition is also called amotivation, the inability to act on a task despite wanting to. Okay, well then I guess, yeah, sure, that it's distinct, and I'm experiencing both. Mm. Truckers love fairies. Ask me how I know. Ember. The little dashboard trinkets. It wasn't dashboard trinkets, dude. Like, I mean, like, people would buy big statues of fairies. Like, I don't understand what the appeal was, but we sold them regularly to different people. It wasn't like the same dude or anything. I'm on the opposite side of things. My brain auto defaults to very literal. So when someone behind a counter asks about my day, my brain auto begins to outline what I've been doing. Sometimes I blurt it out, and sometimes I catch myself and remind myself they probably do not care one bit. I hate it though, because they are still directing my brain power even if it doesn't get used in conversation. Yeah, I don't have that issue. I guess maybe just because I've done so much customer service. Like, I spent 3 years at that first gas station, and then I ended up coming back and working at a different gas station, or different gas stations, for like a year and a half or 2 years or something. Even as a mailman, there is some amount of customer service in that job, although that is probably the least amount of time I've ever had to spend talking to anybody in a job. And God, it was so good in that way. Um, but yeah, I went to the store this week to grab something real fast, and the guy was like, or I guess it was last week. I went to the store on Wednesday last week, and a guy was like, "Hey, how's it going today?" And I was like, "Oh God." I didn't like plan, but I was having like a equally annoyed kind of day as I'm having today, and my improv ability has gotten better. Because I was just like, "Oh God, it's like Wednesday, but it feels like a Monday." Do you ever have that? And it was just words for me to convey like I'm not having a great day, and let me try to find something that feels kind of relatable to convey that, but not talk at all about what my actual day has been like. It wasn't like, oh, it has to do with work or anything like that. It was just like, oh, on Mondays when you feel like there's a lot of shit going on and you're kind of overwhelmed and you weren't ready for the start of the week. Like, I guess that's kind of what I was trying to convey. But so just like improv brain, some amount of relatable conversation, not being fully dishonest, but also not being straightforward or direct about it. Just like, oh God, it's a Wednesday, but it feels like a Monday, my dude. Like, I don't know how. And he was like, oh, I guess I hope it slows down for you. And I was like, yeah, I'm just hoping I don't have anything to do for the rest of the day. Like, it's my kid's night to cook. I'm shutting down for the day. And he was amused. Like, that's the goal of a customer service interaction, especially if somebody asks you more. Like, it was totally unnecessary for this guy to ask me this. Honestly, it might have been a little bit of a flirtatious bid on his part. I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, customer service and customer interactions are fun. Wait, like Gundams? Who said something about Gundams, but dragons and fairies and skulls? If there was something like a Gundam, but was like a dragon, especially if it was articulated, oh my God. My husband likes to build those, whatever the fuck they're called. I guess Gundams are, that's one of the versions of it, but they come in like the plastic stuff and you have to clip all the parts out and then you fit the parts together, and the instructions are usually in fucking Japanese or something. Those are fun. They can be a lot of fun. If there was one of those, what are they called? If there was one of those for a dragon, and like they tend to be fully articulated, and the skeleton part tends to look really cool as well. That would be fucking lit. I bet it would be expensive. How about like Gundam Dragon? I'm just gonna look that up and get back to it later. Someone asked if I drink beer. I'm on a little bit of an alcohol break right now. I actually don't know how much of an alcohol break I'm on right now. My partner wants to be on an alcohol break, and it's like easier when your person does it with you, but I don't know. It kind of fucking depends. Like, I guess, I don't know. It depends. I haven't thought about it. A model kit? Kind of, yeah. Hmm. Kay says, I've been in and out of customer service for years, and nothing will compare to being a call center rep, following the script while trying to keep it to 7 minutes, and the callers just keep talking. Oh, God, that's hell. I'm so sorry. Whenever people ask me how I'm doing, I tend to say something like, I'm upright, so I'm being honest, and they can assume it's just a joke. Yeah. Or like that white people thing where we go like, living the dream, right? Conveying an honest sensation to other people, but through the lens of a humorous, like, ha, 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 10K Reasons says, I've been having trouble trusting others with my heart, but serving others works to take my mind off myself in the moment. Oh, girl. Sorry, I don't know your pronouns. That girl was more, it's like generalized, but like, girl, that's called avoidant attachment. I think the attachment theory stuff is so interesting, but I also don't feel like I fit cleanly into any of them. I guess I would be disorganized attachment with a heavy lean towards of the avoidant behaviors. What was the name of the multi-headed dragon in the Godzilla movies? I don't know. I was just wondering if I should watch the Godzilla movies. Because Seth and Aaron, we had Seth Andrews and Aaron Adair on the Skep Talk this week, and they were talking about Godzilla, which I don't think I've seen any of the Godzilla movies, at least not that I can remember. Maybe did we watch the new one? I don't know. I actually don't know. Gunpla, fucking thank you. Chaos Gremlin, that is what I was looking for. Gunpla. Warhammer plus Gunpla plus WoW. Am I nerdy enough? Yeah, you certainly have a willingness that I don't to spend money on Warhammer. We do have minis and we paint minis though. We do Heroescape, which is, it's a tabletop game. It's got the cute little hexagonal tiles that you can like build your map on. Oh man, it's so fun. People pleasing is a fun way to ignore the thoughts of doom in your mind, I guess, until it kicks your ass, you know, several weeks or months into your compartmentalization. I'm heavily anxious attachment with a bit of disorganized. Yeah. I think that just makes you disorganized. Speaking of Skep Talk, which one of you poor bastards is producing the Forrest and Erica show on Monday? I am going to be producing that one. My plan is I'm going to make a pre-order in the morning. I'm going to be like, schedule a pizza to arrive at my house at this particular time. And then I think that Forrest actually has like exams coming up soon or like around this time. Yeah. It's November, so it's getting close to the end of the semester. And yeah, so I think that there is we're not going to go until fucking midnight or whatever. Like, I do expect it to go a little long. Maybe I'll touch base soon and kind of get an idea of what the expectation is. Like, it doesn't bother me. I just get to sit here at my desk and like, I actually have enough downtime sometimes that I can keep open like my Village Simulator game that I've been playing recently. And just like, it's the perfect game that I can just pause and then focus on whatever I'm doing on my work computer and then come back over here and be like, yeah, let me build a blacksmith and direct these resources there. Hi, Ben. Hello. Hello. No, I won't hit the like button. How could you deny me my spoils of war or whatever? I don't know. Jesus, my hair is loose and falling off of me. I hope that you're having a good day, Ben. It's been a crazy time. I've been extolling the chat with my complaints about how fucking depressing everything is right now. I should switch from water to beer. Yeah. Faulty says, it feels good to smile and tell people that the day is going horribly. If it is, ask and ye shall know. Yes, Village Simulator. Banished is the one that I have been playing. I have like 400 plus hours in that game. I need you to schedule when you're going to get drunk with me. Yes, I just have a lot going on this month, so I was like, oh, I don't know when I'm going to be able to do that. But also, your schedule is wide open, which is like convenient in some ways, but is also like, okay, well, there's just like a feeling that I'm like, wait, it's so broad, it's difficult to make a decision. You know what I mean? But I would love to, and I'm excited to do it. I played the fuck out of Banished during my pandemic layoff time. Yeah. Trinket? No. Bad. Naughty. No. Hello, Gayfesh. But yes, I have been trying to get some last achievements in Banished. I've been playing it for like 418 hours total over the last however many years I've had it. And it is fun. Do you think you would like a link to my trans friend's wedding ceremony recording? I'm so fucking serious when I say it's the most beautiful vows I've had the pleasure of hearing. That's very sweet. I feel like that would feel really awkward and personal, and also like I'm not trying to invite more crying into my life. I've had crying lately, and I'm over it for the time being. I'm wearing makeup today. Anyway, I fondled the like button. Well, King Ghidorah was the dragon in Godzilla. Okay. That sounds like a fucking Dragon Ball Z character. King Ghidorah. Yeah, man. It's like a 3-headed dragon. That's just... Is it because it sounds like Deborah? And Deborah's a Dragon Ball Z character? Or Dragon Ball character? Ember shouts out, have y'all seen Ben's Holy Spirits show? It's both of those things. Yeah, Dr. Ben, if y'all don't know Dr. Ben, he's a co-host alongside myself on the Transatlantic Call-In Show and other shows on the line. And he has got this series going of like getting drunk and talking about the Bible. And so that sounds like a fun show. And I think you had Aaron Ra on recently, or you were planning to. Lux be like, we have enough crying at home. We need to go. We don't need to go out for more. True. People keep asking. Okay, it's come up a few times recently because Gayfesh and Demon Mama and myself have been doing some horror movie watch stuff for our podcast. We're switching now to the next generation Star Trek movies, and so, but we just did 4 horror movies. And so now I'm thinking about horror movies. I'm talking about horror movies and people are like, do you like horror? Or do you get scared by it or whatever? And I'm just like, I feel bad and anxious a lot. And so I don't want to watch movies that make me feel that way usually, unless there's something like interesting that you can dig into. And I think that the movies that we just recently watched were pretty unique in that way amongst horror, where it's like, oh, it feels like there's a lot to look into, a lot to dig through and do some literary analysis. Yeah, and then Eddington, the most recent one, isn't really a horror movie. It's just kind of like, yeah, more of like a thriller, or it's definitely got some existential elements, but it's not a horror movie in that kind of traditional keeping you scared sense. But yeah, check out the podcast on the Gayfesh channel. It's called The Many Worlds Hypothesis. Later, Quantum, have a good night. I'm working on getting Aaron to tell the Noah's Ark story. Ooh, that's fun. Some of the Star Trek movies could count as horror, particularly Nemesis, though a lot of that has to do with poor quality. Nemesis is horror in that the fandom looks on in horror. I want to get into Star Trek, but can I without spending money? I do think that most of it is on... I think most of it's on Paramount Plus, so I think you would have to pay for it. Or you could always maybe find some old DVDs, since like the original Star Treks and stuff probably exist on physical media somewhere. Excuse me. Ooh. Borp. I saw the new Predator movie yesterday. I'm super psyched they're setting up Alien vs. Predator again. Yeah, that does sound fun. Like a modern take on Alien vs. Predator. Did you watch The Thing, or has it not really gotten cold where you are just yet? Because that's required viewing for me every year. That is such a great idea. The idea of The Thing being a holiday movie or like a winter movie. I actually love that. I haven't watched it since the first time we watched it. I think my partner was like, you should watch this movie. It's classic. So we did. And then we also watched the new The Thing, which is a prequel. If you didn't know, the most recent movie, The Thing, is the prequel. And yeah, it was a really enjoyable movie. It's not cold enough here yet. I think that it will probably be cold enough in like late December, because I live in the Pacific Northwest now, and it actually stays really nice for a while. And then even in the coldest part of the winter, it doesn't get as cold. But yes, I enjoy The Thing. It's a good movie. I don't know if I enjoyed the newer one as much, but I enjoyed that it had the redhead from Game of Thrones in it, and also Ramona Flowers. Oh god, is somebody asking me about transracial? Are you, Scotty? Are you asking me about transracial in the comments right now? Is that the question that you're asking me? You didn't use that term, but I think that that's what you're driving toward, right? I watched a Deep Space Nine episode that was basically The Thing because a changeling is loose on the Defiant. They even do a blood test scene. Yeah, what was another movie? The Faculty is also a kind of The Thing type movie in that way, where they have to do like a test to see who's human and who's alien. Yeah, it's only cool here in the Pacific Northwest right now. I do kind of look forward to true winter, but I am able to look forward to true winter because we had a nice mild summer and we're having a wonderful autumn. Oh my god, it's still so pretty here. It's still so pretty. The colors. We've got some beautiful like red in my part of the world, so it's wonderful. In your last stream, you said that socialism was when taxpayer money goes to programs to help the poor. Paraphrasing. Respectfully, that was inaccurate. That is social democracy. I find that a lot of these terms don't have a clean definition. But basically, what I was trying to say is like, my understanding is that socialism still has a central government. Am I incorrect on that? Because I thought that that was one of the main things that made it distinct from communism and anarchism, was that socialism still has like a central governing power. It's just that socialism is a central governing system under which capital is no longer the main priority of that system. Like, I'm not trying to say that like, oh, corporations could still exist and that's socialism. Like, no, I'm not. I'm retarded, but not that kind of retarded. Just to be totally clear. That was a joke. Edgy jokes. We do that sometimes. If a mimic could look like a human, it would basically be The Thing. So true. It's nice to see the Predator movies actually move toward the sci-fi future genre. The franchise really felt bogged down by being so modern Earth-centric. Oh, that's neat. I hadn't really considered that either. To be fair, I haven't watched a lot of those since I was quite young. I would love to watch the Alien movies. I've seen the first Alien recently, but I don't think I've seen any of the subsequent ones. So the Alien movies would be great. We did watch the original Predator recently. I don't know if I ever watched AVP or if there was just a lot of marketing around it. And I remember there being a lot of marketing around it. Maybe my mother went to go see it. Socialism has many definitions, but social democracy is well-regulated capitalism. Yeah. If I misspoke or in some way gave the impression that I thought that socialism is just, let's regulate capitalism better, that is not my understanding of socialism. I was mostly just trying to indicate, like, it still has a central governing body. You know? Ableism for the sake of edginess. Oh, and to be clear, I am autistic, so if I say the word retarded about myself and you don't like it, you can literally just leave. Because I'm the one who gets to decide if that term applies to me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I've heard socialism described as communism communism but with a state, and communism being the public ownership of the means of production. Yes. But again, like I don't see communism being compatible with a large governing system. Like, I do not see how you could have communism without it literally being like scaling back the small living. to like more localized economies. Like I just maybe I need to like read something that could help me kind of see what the thing is there, but I don't know. Yes, thank you, Jake. I do have that on my list, getting some magnesium glycinate for my partner's fucking restless legs. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. It's on my list. Fun fact, in the Predator universe, the xenomorphs exist, but in the Alien universe, Predators didn't exist. Yeah, they merged the properties later on, right? Communism eventually collapses under its own weight as you scale up. I don't know that I would describe it that way, but I just don't know how. I just don't know how. I mean, I think communism as a political ideology like requires you to know everybody that you are in a community with, or at least requires you to know most of the people you're in community with. Like, I don't know how we can organize I don't know how we can organize like collective ownership with people who live like 500 miles away, you know, because it's so easy to just not think of those people as people if you're not seeing them on a regular basis. And it's really easy to form in groups and out groups and stuff in a way that just kind of. Socialism, as far as I know, is when the workers both own and control the means of production directly. Okay, but then in what way is socialism distinct from communism, right? Because in a communist society or system, all of the workers own everything collectively, including the means of production. The two universes are secret besties, but the Xenos don't want to admit it. Is it this? Hold on. Where is it? It's this thing. Like, hold on. God damn it. Open it up in a new tab where it looks normal. It's this thing. Are you two friends? Yes. No. This is the Xenomorphs and the Predator franchise says yes. The Xenomorphs and Alien franchise says no. Alien Earth got picked up for season 2. I heard that. I'm glad for you who are enjoying watching it. I thought pure communism is supposed to mean moneyless. Yeah, I guess that would also be a distinction where, like, in communism, there aren't wages and things don't cost money. Everybody just receives a portion of the society. I don't know. Sorry, I read something and my brain fell apart halfway through what I was trying to say right there. But yeah, I like... There's a reason why, guys, I kind of very broadly call myself a leftist, or like maybe in a squeeze I might say I'm an anarchist, like in an idealized way. I actually think probably the most accurate term for me right this moment is a communist, because of the fact that we are going to have the federal government collapse. Like, it kind of feels like the people in charge right now are doing what they did to Joanne Fabric, where they're gutting everything and they're going to sell it. Or dismantle it in some way, right? So, and the global economy is going to collapse in the next 15 years. So I kind of see communism as like what's going to necessarily happen. I would settle for well-regulated capitalism over the current system. The problem is that capitalism never stays regulated. If you think back to FDR, like, yeah, that was really well-regulated social democracy, but it did not stop the fascist takeover. Vlad says, I'm not saying identity politics doesn't matter, but if someone thinks idpol should be the main primary focus instead of class, they're not my ally. Yeah, and if somebody lacks the reading comprehension to have heard me say I'm retarded, but not that kind of retarded, and and like didn't seem to understand that I was claiming the term for myself and describing myself, an autistic person, that way. I just think that it's really silly when people are like, ableism. I'm like, I am the person who's affected by this, and I'm telling you that you need to stop fucking correcting people about the R slur. Nobody cares who's actually affected by it. We all have other shit going on. I'm not going to say no one. There are some people who are like, I really passionately care about that term not being used around me, whatever. Everybody's on a scale of sensitivity to these things, but like, I'm disabled and neurodivergent, and like, there are much bigger issues, like the fact that they're trying to make a list of autistic people, you know? Like, I don't give a shit if you use the R slur. I'm affected and I hate it, TBH. Yeah. I spoke out of turn a little bit there. I agree. There are people who, and I respect that, which is why I don't use the term I don't use the term to describe other people. I pretty much only exclusively at this point use it to describe myself. I might slip sometimes on that. Everything seems so bleak lately. I just want a little bit of a break. Yeah, but that's the thing. That's how they break you. This is how we get a bullshit situation that nobody wants, is because they make life absolutely miserable, and then you feel like any small amount of relief would be better than this. And that's how we get the Democrats caving on the thing. Like, this is how we get the Democrats caving on the government shutdown, is like, people are so overwhelmed by how terrible everything is that they're like, well, if you say that you'll give us the thing that we want, and therefore we'll give you what you want. And like, no, doesn't work that way. R slur, same with F slur, depends who is saying it and the context of it. True. Yeah. It's trickier on YouTube and stuff to call myself the T slur or the F slur, but I do that offline. So yeah, and I agree, and I'm not perfect at this, but I do agree with you that calling yourself the R word is one thing, but if people are using the argument like, "Oh, I am allowed to use it as an insult because I was insulted with that in high school." Like, yeah, go figure, we were all called that, but that's not reclamation if you're just using it as an insult. Yes, I agree, and I understand that. And I'm not perfect on it. All of those things can be true at the same time. Evil Kupra says the world will ultimately have to switch to a communism-like system at the latest when almost no essential resources remain on the planet. No fucking kidding. Yeah. Don't even get me started on the IRL politics of the government shutdown. I just want to talk about the fictional politics of movies and how it relates to real-life politics. Yeah, I have that going on. Later, Mabs. But I just haven't felt any kind of like... I'm working on it, though. I'm trying to get myself together and get some creative energy going. I am going to have to reshuffle around all of my channels, and I've posted like sort of miniature announcements about it that I'm gonna rename one of my other channels and start like, I'm gonna delete some videos off of this channel and re-upload them over the other channel as mirrors, and you know, use the collab function to post it to my subscribers, but also it's like allowing it to find its own audience over there. So, and then hopefully once those have been trickling out for a little bit, I'll have some creative energy to work on something else. Like, what have I got written down right now? I need to work on, I don't know, I guess the Mulan video. Fucking. Oh, sorry, Vlad. Was not even talking about the use of the R word. I was talking about socialism and identity politics. Sure. I guess I don't see the term idpol used in that way, so I got a little confused. Like, do you identify as an do you identify as a socialist or an anarchist or whatever? I don't really, I guess maybe because I just recuse myself from all that stuff, but there do seem to be, you know, oh, you're a tanky, whatever, and that means something, and I'm sure it does, and I know it means something bad, and it's like something about being pro genocide and Stalin or something. I don't know, because I don't care. And I don't really, if somebody wants to like label me a particular thing, like I just don't really care very much. Emily says, I hate the Democrats more than Republicans. At least the MAGA will openly admit they hate you and want you to die. Yeah. These establishment Democrats are something. Melanie says, I try not to police others' language unless it's something very bad, like the N word, for example. If someone wants to refer to themselves as something, I feel like that's none of my business. I used to work in a syringe exchange, and we had one girl that would lecture the clients about calling themselves addicts instead of using the term people who use drugs. The result was that they no longer wanted to speak with her because they would be lectured. Person first language always, but also meet people where they are at and do not tell them what word they can use to refer to themselves. I'm also in social work, so that may have something to do with my thinking. I do also believe that there's a problem with folks. Oh God, there's 67 people in here and 88 likes. I wasn't even paying attention. Good gracious. Thank you so much. Would anyone like to be our first donation for today? Anyway, I feel like there is a compassionate way to have that conversation, you know? You could come in and be like, you know, like with a kindness, although I probably wouldn't find it appropriate in that situation. I might say something encouraging, like, honey, what you do does not define who you are, or something like that. Like, I might say it in a nice way, but to be like, well, you really shouldn't call yourself an addict because, like, the tone and the delivery makes a big difference. The compassion, if you're working with extremely vulnerable communities like that, it needs to be first and foremost. And that's why I could never do a job like that, or even volunteering. Like, I couldn't do it because it's customer service times a million. It's so emotional. Like, I couldn't be a social worker. I could not be a therapist. I am too tired. I do find it interesting in America that your political affiliation is almost essentially a personality that's important in daily life versus just only relevant when it's voting time. I guess maybe because I don't know what country you're in, but our parties and the way that they are set up, it's like there's so many things that go into it, and there are a lot of people that don't like. I think that honestly, the idea of a center, Aotearoa. Okay, yeah, I have no idea what the situation is in New Zealand, what your political parties are like or anything, but in America, there aren't actually a lot of people in the center, or at least it feels like there aren't. Like, there aren't a lot of people who are like, I hate black people, but trans people are fine. Like, that doesn't happen very often. We have a situation where like these political beliefs tend to have like a huge cluster of things around them. And that's why, because like so many things are defined by this. So, okay, I guess like saying you're a Democrat is shorthand for, broadly speaking, saying like, oh, I support racial equality, I support LGBTQ, I want people to have access to Medicare or whatever. Like I want people to be able to go to the doctor. Like, so all of these beliefs about like generally making the world better for people, and even if they don't follow through on all those ideals, whatever. And then there is like the Republicans who don't think that there should be any kind of welfare state, but simultaneously want their handouts, which is fucking crazy. They tend to hate all of the groups. Like, they hate Jews and black people and Mexicans and trans people and gay people. So like all of those things tend to go together for some reason. Like, there's not a whole lot of, oh, I hate this one group, but I don't hate all the others. And so, yeah, in America, and maybe it's different in other countries because maybe other countries don't have like a normalization of all of this hatred. Like, why can you legitimately hold all of these opinions and like still belong in society? Like, at what point does this collection of beliefs make you like not able, like, you should maybe be like homeless in this situation? Like, I don't really know what to do with this kind of person. Like, you shouldn't be a part of our society, and I don't know how to accomplish that. Like, you shouldn't be legitimized. Like, I don't know if maybe you just in other countries don't let this person hold office or say that shit in public. Like, maybe you beat the fuck out of this person. I don't know, but we don't. So that's why we have the situation that we have. A lot of people will claim to be in the center even if they are not. Yeah, that's another thing. They say things like, I think both sides have good points, and it's like, which ones? Be specific, babe. The Overton window shifting this far to the right means that basic empathy is now an extreme left political alignment. Yeah, you are portrayed as radical for believing that everybody deserves food and water and healthcare, like basically. There's not a lot of single issue bigots. Bigotry is not sold individually. It comes in a 12 pack from Costco. True. Also, an issue in the US that we have no real consequences for lying. Yes, I I really wish that there were like stronger consequences for lying in advertisements or as a political candidate. Like I think if you get elected as a Democrat and then you change to a Republican, losing your job should be the least of your problems. I do kind of feel like that's the absolute least of your problems. And yet we don't even do that, much less any of the other things that I think should happen to you if you lie and say you're a Democrat and then change your party to Republican and start voting all things Republican. The blue Republican Party is no more on our side than the red one. True. Yeah. I mean, you've got Democratic Socialist Zoran Mamdani now, who's like, staying with the trans community, is saying good things about the trans community and like refusing to back down from his support of us. And I would just like to see more of that. I do still think it's really funny that like people, bitch about, oh my God, excuse me. They complain about, these independents and stuff. And like, you're just stealing votes away and everything. And like independents have a really hard time even getting to be on the stage at like a debate. And like, I do think it's funny that Andrew Cuomo, I was like, is this going to be the thing? Maybe I've said this already. Is this going to be the thing that legitimizes the independent party? Is like Democrats are just going to start. I would be fascinated to see if this happens again. If the Democrats just can't win their own primaries because Democratic Socialists and socialists are winning those positions, like, oh, well, they're running as a Democrat, they're running to represent the Democratic Party. I think that something that might happen either is that there is going to be an increased legitimization of the independent party, that Democrats are going to basically have to run as independents in order to get on the ballot at all. And along with that, a strong possibility that there will be more and more election interference from the DNC and other career politicians who are going to be like, well, no, you're not allowed to run as a Democrat because you have all these crazy leftist positions. Like, are they going to start like, can they like say you're no longer a member of the Democratic Party? Like, can they say like, we are not, I mean, I guess if they were able to, then they would have done that. If they were able to prevent Zoran Mamdani from running as a Democrat, then they probably would have done that. But he ran as a Democrat and he won. And then they legitimized the idea of an independent party by having Cuomo on the stage. Mamdani shows how you run a campaign that isn't about trans people but doesn't exclude trans people. Truly. Yeah, do you really think politicians would just go out and lie? No, never. Okay, Katie Wilson is a Democratic Socialist, mayor of Seattle. Okay, I knew about her. I just didn't know what she was running for exactly. But hey, that's great. That's great. I love that for you guys. I think that we're going to be voting. I actually don't know when mayor elections are going to happen. I haven't been paying attention to that kind of thing. Akira says, as a leftist, what I like to say is that the system isn't broken. It's working exactly as it was designed. These things like racism and sexism are baked into the system, but we will fight against it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, agree. The system is not broken if it is. It's like, what is that thing? Like the outcomes of a system indicate its design. What is. Okay. There's a Wikipedia. The purpose of a system is what it does. This is a heuristic in systems thinking coined by British management consultant Stafford Beer, who stated, there is no point in claiming that the purpose of a system is to do what it constantly fails to do. So basically, this is the idea that, like, whatever results a system has, that's what the purpose of the system is. So if the result of this system is that, we have a lot of homeless people. People starve. People die because they can't afford insulin. Like, that is the result of the system. And because that is a consistent result of the system, we can conclude that that is the purpose of the system. So until we start changing the purpose of the system, we are not going to change outcomes. This needs to go away. It's so bright. Oh my God, Wikipedia. Is there no dark mode option on Wikipedia? I feel like my eyes are bleeding. They also have, the DNC has done this to Omar Fateh and countless others. Mamdani has a millionaire filmmaker for a mother and Ivy League professor for a father and great lawyers. Oh, I guess so they couldn't box him out because he's like a relatively privileged individual. Philly Democrats have previously kicked out committee members who supported the Working Families Party. But I don't know if that means that they can be like, you're not allowed to run as a Democrat. Like, I think all they can really do is run someone else. And then if they lose, then they lose. Like, in the same way that this, whoever the fuck her name is in, I want to say South Carolina, who got elected as a Democrat to a brand new blue district in her state, like they had just redistricted, and she got elected as a Democrat and then flipped to Republican. Like, so if you can do that, then I don't really see how they can really seriously box out a Democratic Socialist from running as the Democratic candidate. Like, you don't have to run as a socialist. You can just run as a Democrat. And we should be primarying the Democrats all across this country. Yeah, I agree. That is kind of the difference between a liberal and a leftist. Liberal says the system is broken and needs to be reformed. And the leftist says the system is working as intended and needs to be completely reworked from the ground up. Yeah. There was that ad that Mamdani did showing he actually fucking cared about trans people. He did not back down when he was challenged, but his main focus was affordability. Yeah, that he can be like, the poorest people in our city sometimes includes transgender people who are homeless and have difficulty accessing services and things. And so, yeah, in a general discussion about helping the lower class or the working class, it is essential to include all parts of that working class. And trans people are, in an overwhelming majority, part of the working class or lower. So, yeah, I appreciated that about his candidacy. I just re-listened to, I was watching a Humanist Report video yesterday, listening to it, and he played that ad in the Humanist Report video, and it almost brought me to tears. I'm like, yeah, it shouldn't feel so weird to have people care about you, whether it's you as an individual. Like, I've never met Zohran Mamdani, obviously. I probably never will. I mean, that would be fucking cool. But I probably never will. He lives in New York, and I live on the opposite side of the country. Just no reason for it to happen. He can't run for certain national offices because he's not born here. But anyway, what the fuck was I saying? But it's good to feel like he cares about my, my civil rights group, even if I don't feel like there's a personal relationship here. It still matters a lot to have the feeling like people would go to bat for you if you were ever the one who was being targeted or whatever. We've got Katie Wilson up here. She just doesn't have his riz. She's a policy wonk first and foremost, but still based. I'm so glad to hear that, though, because I was kind of concerned a little with Mamdani's success. Oh my God, we're almost at 100 likes, babes. Does anybody want to be our first $5 donation for today? This hardcore political analysis coming to you. But yeah, I was kind of concerned with Mamdani's win because I do feel like he is sort of uniquely charismatic, right? That he's got really talented people around him who can write these wonderful speeches, and he's got the camera face, and he's got this team who's like, gave him a particular brand identity with all the trailers and campaign adverts, basically. And the graphics design team and everything, just making a really unique flavor for his campaign. And I guess I was a little concerned that this doesn't necessarily mean that socialist ideas are going to continue to gain ground. That, this could just be the expected result of a politics that rewards people who are attractive and good at talking and delivering the message. So it's good to hear that Katie Wilson is, she doesn't have the riz, but she won and she's going to deliver. So that's great. Does the USA have mayors that are not politically aligned? I don't actually think so. Well, I think in a lot, so I think that in order to run for any office in the United States, I think that you have to declare a party. Like, I'm presently, I think I'm set as unaffiliated. I think I set as unaffiliated. I don't think I would be able to run as an unaffiliated candidate. Like, I think I would have to declare a party. But maybe it's different in different places. Depends on the municipality, and there are a lot of nonpartisan local positions. Well, sure, like if I'm running for like treasury office or something, those don't necessarily have a partisan position. Like it doesn't matter. But if you were to run for something like mayor, where there is a primary process, sure, it's probably, again, it's just going to depend on the municipality. Mama says, the Dem leadership is ideologically opposed to left-wing policies. If they won the House, Senate, and presidency on a democratic socialist platform and had an all-socialist Supreme Court, Chuck Schumer would consider it a failure. And this reminds me of that transphobic argument that sex is defined by orientation toward small or large gamete production in an attempt to get around the fact that intersex people exist, when the simple fact is that if somebody doesn't make gametes, their body is oriented to produce no gametes. Yeah. Like everything else oriented around it. Oh, hey. Yeah. Oh, Captain Trips. Thank you so much for stopping by. Also, thank you, the Chaos Gremlin, for your $5 New Zealand dollars. Thank you so much. Says $5 for all the education I've learned today. Thank you so much. That's very sweet. How much money is that? Oh, hey. And then Andy
013 has donated $5. Donating to get it started.
Thank you, guys. You must have done it simultaneously, and one of them just processed a little faster than the other. But thank you so much. I really appreciate those. I am just going to go ahead and put... You guys distracted me but I'm going to get back to you, Captain Trips. I'll get back to you. Trust me, baby. I'll get back to you. Oh, my God. Really? The U.S. dollar is... Wow, why is my shit So only $2.84 USD. Whoa, what? Hold on. What are you doing? Okay. It was like connect encoder to go live. I thought it was like canceled me for a second there. Okay. Anyway, 5 New Zealand is $2.84 US. I'll round that up to $3 and say we've just gotten $8 in donations. The thing that we do on my show is behind me, right over here. There's a treasure chest. It's definitely not a mimic. It's just a regular treasure chest, and there's a different thing in it, like every week. And if we get to the donation goal, then I'll open it. That's how that works. Okay. Anyway, Captain Trips, are you still here? Is Captain Trips still in here, Captain? Yeah, you're still in here. Wonderful. I love that you sat there for a full minute, because that's how it works. You have to subscribe. Thank you for subscribing, by the way. OMG. Thank you so much. If the video is not synced with the audio now, then you need to just refresh really quick. Sorry, that happens sometimes. Anyway, Captain Trips, I love that you sat there for 1 full minute. 60 seconds counted down from the moment you pressed the subscribe button. And you were like, let me think on it. What am I going to say to harass this fucking stranger on the internet who's clearly just here hanging out and having a good time with their audience? Isn't that crazy? I am going to Gayfesh. That's on the list. List of dumb things I plan to do. Southern autism. Hello. I'm going to need to... I think I'm actually going to stop at the 3-hour mark today. So here in a few minutes, I'm going to take like my midstream break and get some more water. Thank you so much, Andy and Chaos Gremlin, for those donos. I understand if y'all are poor, please don't donate to me. Don't prioritize donating to me if you're poor. I like how the Dem leadership is saying there's nothing they can learn from Mamdani's campaign. Thank you. Because New York is so unique. Unique New York. Because the obvious follow-up question is that if New York is too unique to provide useful experience, then wouldn't it be pretty dumb to have both your House and Senate leaders be from New York? Damn, true. Thank you for the $10 from somebody in Super Chat who says ugly, or whose name is ugly. I hope that you don't feel that way about yourself. That's so sad. That's so sad, dude. I'm sure you are beautiful. Treasure chest. Boom, boom, boom. Southern autism. Someone took my account. True. Captain, Mama Mephistopheles in my chat says that she's going to do a TikTok live later tonight, taking debate calls, and you should come in and debate on Mama Mephistopheles TikTok if you're not a big scary D baby. Mama's going to take some calls later tonight on the TikTok live. I didn't, like, one of the comments from Captain Trips got held automatically and I haven't approved it. Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina. And the one that actually came through is trans women are men. Like, okay. Fucking dumb. Wow, it's so original. I've never heard that before. Is there a Southern autism on your other platform? No.
Dank Cat Lord has donated $5. Here is my last $5 United States dollars.
I hope that that's because you're not from the United States. Otherwise, you're in trouble now. No, Southern autism, someone in my chat was just making a joke that, like, they are Southern and autistic, I think. But thank you, Dank Cat Lord. I'm going to assume that you're not in trouble. Which brings us up to $23 for today. Thank you so much, everybody. Isn't that wonderful? Captain, are you still here? Are you still here? Are you here? Are you going to continue heckling me? Have you run away like a scaredy little B word? You got a little P word, and you're being a B word, Captain. Oh, you're still here. That's fascinating. All gender is now in a state of collapse. True. I lied. I have more than 5 USD. Okay. I'm like, listen, you're going to be in trouble. All right, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm going to take my little midstream break, and we'll see if Captain has anything to say while I'm gone. All right? I'm not going to put music on or anything. I'm just going to go and handle my shit. Okay, baddies, I'm back. Hopefully, too many of you didn't leave. Oh, we're still 50 of you here. That's wonderful. Thank you all so much for hanging out. Oh my god, my hair is just like slightly greasy. John Sean asks, do you think our society should refer to transgender people as a third gender? Because there are other cultures like Thailand who do that. And if not, wouldn't we be validating the idea that only two genders? Girl, what is the utility of any of this, really? Like, what's the utility of two genders? What's the utility of three genders? What do you mean? Are we talking about like a societal concept? Gayfesh points out that ladyboy is not a Thai phrase. Like the idea of third gender in Thailand is a colonial imposition. I mean, I don't think that validating a binary person's gender is like, sorry, I don't think that validating a binary person's gender means that all gender is binary. I mean, it's kind of, what you're kind of doing here is a very similar argument to like, well, trans women just reinforce negative stereotypes about women by trying to dress and appear like a woman to people. And it's just like this really unfair thing that gets put on trans women, like, and like, you know, like, oh, we're holding trans people and stuff to a higher standard, a different standard. Like, nobody's coming after cis women for getting boob jobs. You know, they're not saying you're upholding negative stereotypes about women by getting plastic surgery. Like, I guess some women probably do have that happen to them, but it's not like, oh, is your identity as a woman wrong? You know? Hello, Heathen Granny. Welcome in. I gotta drink some of this water I just got. Yeah, I guess the captain of the debate team left. True, Nuvenal. I'm mostly still practicing my debate and public speaking skills, but I had a good one the other day that I think I want to upload to start populating my YouTube channel. But I feel like I should get an intro and or unique backsplash image for my debate streams. Are there any artists in chat that I could hire for such things? If there's any art in the audience, then you tell mama. True, Gayfesh. I'm not a third gender. I just don't have one. I lost it in the couch cushions and can't be asked to look for it. Additional, yeah, the issue with trans people and the idea that we're reinforcing stereotypes is that this is what is demanded of us for the bare minimum social interaction. Yeah, you know, if you're like, I don't like that I keep getting misgendered, people will be like, well, you're not trying hard enough. You know, so it's like, oh, okay, so I deserved it, I guess. Like, I didn't try hard enough. I could have deserved it more by trying harder. Are you a kitty kitty? Do you want to be in the chair? Would you like to be in the chair? Come here, Mr. Baby. Ah, Mr. Baby. He is a boy. Look at the big boy. Did a good baby. Yeah, it's a constant. You are not trying hard enough and yet trying too hard all at the same time. And like cis women get that too. Cis women get that too, where they're, you know, that regular thing of like, oh, I don't like a woman who puts too much effort into her appearance. I don't like a woman who wears too much makeup. But then if they don't wear any makeup, they look sick. And it's like, okay, so you like a woman with minimal makeup, but she's still, it's like you have to thread the needle just right. So in that way, trans women are being treated like women. Is the word parasites banned in my YouTube chat? I don't know. I feel like a lot of random words I have censored because of the way that they're used in a transphobic manner, but I don't think parasite is one of them. Yeah, the classic Barbie speech, though. Is her name America Ferrera? Is that her name? Yeah. Barbie movie's pretty good. Meow, 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 meow. I saw that TikTok sound recently. Meow, 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 meow. It's occurring to me that I didn't really eat enough before stream today. Would you have still married your spouse if he had legally changed his name to Timothy Tickle before meeting you? If that was a choice that he made, I don't know. I don't know, man. I got married when I was 18, if we're being completely honest. So I don't know what the fuck that little idiot was thinking. I don't know how that little person would have responded in that situation. I've been married for 13 years. I do need to get my cat on a diet. I have a vet appointment scheduled. It's just going to be a couple more weeks because I guess all the vets around me are like full up right now. So I'm going to get him some flea treatment and some, hopefully, some prescription weight loss food. Wear no makeup. You look sick. Wear too much makeup. You're trying too hard. Wear minimal makeup. You're deceiving men. True. It's like you've gotta have some clear thing. Like have a little wing. You gotta have a little wing so that they know. You gotta put the little wing on there so that they can tell. But like I don't even know if anybody would be able to tell that I filled in my eyebrows earlier, right? Like I just very subtly filled in my eyebrows and just the eyeliner and the mascara. I honestly don't even know if the mascara is visible at all on camera, but like I don't know if my eyelashes are. Hello, can you see my eyelashes? Like I don't know. Meow Mix commercial is something I will never get out of my head. True. Meow 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 meow. Wow, that's just in there forever, isn't it? If we want to make the justice system less biased, what if we were to make all criminal court defendants completely anonymous? So if we don't know their race, there can't be bias. Man, I don't know. Yeah, like, I mean, I guess I can see conceptually how that would be good, but I don't know how that would work in practice. I just tried putting on nail polish for the second time in my life, and it came out just as bad as the first time, smeared it all over my fingertips. Okay, two things for that. Number one, you can take petroleum jelly and put it around your fingernail on your skin, and that will contain the nail polish. That sounds like a fucking nightmare to me, though. Somebody I know gave me that advice one time. But what I do is I just put on the nail polish and I try to make it look good on the nail itself. And then I come in with a Q-tip and nail polish remover and I just plan to clean it up afterwards. Girl, see? But honestly, like, I really hate how long it takes the shit to dry. I just use regular nail polish. Like, frankly, I do not think it's a good idea. I don't know if there's been studies on it. I don't think it's a good idea for you to put your fingers underneath a UV light to cure resin. I think that's clearly fucking stupid, but I don't know, maybe somebody, I don't know, like UV cured resin and like, I don't know, man, just fucking whatever. Anyway, opinion on tights. I like to wear leggings. I don't know that I like to wear tights, unless I specifically want to go with that like ripped up grungy kind of punk look. Like I'll do that. I don't wear tights super often. I wear compression socks every day. So it's like kind of hard to put tights together with compression socks. Like I just wear compression socks daily for health reasons. Gayfesh says the cops can't anonymously arrest people and the prosecutors can't anonymously charge people, so you can't completely eliminate the bias by just having the jury be blinded. That is a good point. Lux uses the same polish technique as me, yeah. But it takes forever to dry. And I'm like, I think it's dry. I've done my little, I've done a little bit of this. I've like touched it and I'm not leaving fingerprints on it anymore. And then I go do something like put my hair up and it's like, and it just, I'm like, so most of the time I feel like it's super not worth it. Somebody please explain to me how I avoid having to spend an entire hour and a half after I paint my nails, which already takes more than 15 minutes to like have them dry. Wear sunscreen on your hands when you do the UV thing? I fucking guess so. My cat actually refuses to eat anything except Meow Mix. I had to make an emergency run to the store over the weekend because he was barely eating. Oof. You do have to like really slowly transition a cat onto new food if you're gonna do a new food. Like you have to put just a little bit in there. Use very cheap nail polish. I do. I get my nail polish from the Walmart or the Walgreens or whatever. Like I only get my shit from the cheap. Look at this. Like I've got like cheap CoverGirl, cheap Wet and Wild, like Elf. Like I have not stepped foot in a Sephora or an Ulta in my life. Dehumidifier, I guess, maybe. I just do my nails when I start a movie. That way I'm planning to sit and veg out for 90 plus minutes. Okay. You right. Okay. I'll take that under advisement. It's like, oh, I'm just planning to sit here and watch a 2-hour movie. Okay. Drea actually says you should get good nail polish. Holo Taco. You rarely have to do more than 2 coats, usually only 1. I mean, I would never do... I guess I do like 2 color coats and then a clear coat. Is that my problem? Like, should I just not bother with clear coat? I don't fucking know. Or do they have to like dry for 15 minutes in between layers? Is that what I should be doing? That's true. Trinket says ADHD can make it hard to sit there and watch a movie. Yeah. LED actually cures faster than UV. Can I do gel nail polish and get a fucking LED and just like this LED and just be like, here. But yeah, I'm trying to get better about paying full attention to the movies that I'm watching and not second screen experiencing all the time. Fesh says, I walked into an Ulta exactly once, and the worker immediately ran up to me and was like, how can I help you get a gift for your girlfriend? And I've never been more accurately read in my life. Yeah. I decided to wait. I was planning on going to an Ulta and getting some advice on stuff, but I think I've kind of figured some things out. Like, I've figured out the sort of angle that looks good for my eyeliner, which was a struggle for a little bit, like figuring out how high or how wide or whatever, like what angle. And I think I've kind of figured it out. And I think that my eye looks more balanced when I have the little cat eye in the middle. I don't put any liner underneath because it makes my eye is droopy. So I don't put any color underneath to drag it down. Whoa. Oh, man. Oh, hold on. I've got a little bit of eyeliner transfer because I didn't use setting spray or anything earlier. So let me just fix that because that's annoying. Come on, girl. All right, it's a little bit better. But anyway, just learning about makeup. But I was going to go in and get some advice on, how I should do my eyes, but I've kind of figured it out. So I don't really need that advice. And I also was going to get a new thing of eyeshadow, but I also don't really need a new thing of eyeshadow because I haven't really been using it much lately, first of all, but also I think I have plenty of colors to like mix and match and figure out what to do. As far as putting together good looks, it's not very high quality though, so maybe that's something I should look into, is getting a higher quality eyeshadow palette so that it maybe is like more color vibrant. More color fast. Great wings, very Egyptian queen vibes. Not at all what I'm going for, but like I know a lot of girls who do the inner thing, and it's just mostly to balance out the eye because like my eyes look like this and I want them to look a little bit more like that. No, don't pull, that creates wrinkles. I do not share this value of being afraid of wrinkles. Okay. I just want to be, okay. This camera has an AI thing on it that smooths out the details in a way that can make like jewelry doesn't show up and stuff like that. But like, fam, do you see? Do you see? It's already happening, girls. And like, I don't have this problem. I do want to like take good care of my skin, but like gravity is gonna do its thing. Like it's gonna happen, you know? It doesn't really bother me that much. I'm actually bummed out that I'm actually due to cut my hair. I need to shave the sides of my head because it's getting like really too long on the sides, but it's a shame because I actually don't know how well it comes across with this lighting, but like in my mirror with my bathroom light, the side of my head is just full of white hairs. So I actually do kind of think it's a bummer. Is this okay? I guess you can see a couple of them. Maybe it's mostly on this side because I saw a lot of it on this side this morning. I don't know if it's showing up at all, but I like having white hair, and I'm actually bummed out that most of it's on the side of my head and I shaved the sides of my head. Like I'm starting to get some long ones up top I just kind of found one the other day. I was like, oh, hey, I have like, there it is. Look at it. I found it. Yeah. This is my full length white hair that's right in the front of my head. So that's how I feel about aging. I'm like, based, let's do it more. See? White hairs blow. Yeah, they take color different. That's a fun fact from me to you. Mellow Ale. Hello. Is that a separate Melatonin Ale account? Welcome, welcome. Good to see you on the website. Drea says, I will use a heat gun when I need nail polish to dry fast. Mine gets up to 300 F, so I basically hold my nails as close as I can comfortably, and then they dry in a minute or so. Okay, that's a good point. I could use a hairdryer. I have a hairdryer with heat. Okay, good. It's you. It's you. I'm a 40-year-old woman and I like my white and gray hair too. Truly, like my mom and many women in my family, at least I only noticed it with the women. I wasn't really paying attention to the men's hair, I guess, but the women in my family all started to get white hairs in this part of their head around their mid-20s. I noticed my first white hair starting to come out around age 24. And I was excited from the time I was 5 years old. And I was like, ooh, that might happen. I might get white hairs. I was like, cool, I look forward to that. And then it started to happen and I was like, yes. Like, I don't know. My hair, if I follow in my family's footsteps, my hair will be completely white by the time I'm like 50. And I'm fucking stoked. The only thing is that sometimes the texture is different and I love how soft my hair is. But listen, if you think I'm not going to lean in to looking like a witch, you are wrong, sir. Honestly, this has like very soft witch vibes to me. This sweater. And I'm also wearing a skirt with an uneven bottom. Like, it's got this kind of thing going on. And it's all swishy. And I'm like, I'm in fully, like, witch mode. It's happening. Hairdryer can work too. Yeah, you just have to do one hand at a time. That's kind of what I would assume with a hairdryer. Danielle, congrats again on the name change, says, what do you suggest for ways to deal with family members who want you to be the old you from before transition? I don't want to be that person anymore, but my family wants me to be that person and not my new self. Yeah, I mean, you got to give them a little bit of time, first of all. And even, whoa, hold on, incorrect. And within that, you know, it's just you're going to have to be consistent. You're going to have to say, look, I'm a lot happier now. when you're saying you want me to be that person, understand that to me, my experience of being that person before was like I was depressed, I didn't want to do anything, whatever the actual whatever the actual situation is. Um whatever the actual situation is, the feelings that you have, like express that. Be like, look, how I felt before was this. Like it wasn't great. I didn't like it. I felt bad. And now I don't feel bad in those very specific ways. Like I'm not saying that life is perfect or easy now, but like that those specific things that made me not happy are gone now, and now I'm happier in these other ways. And so it's very hurtful for you to say, I preferred you as the version that was suffering. Like I liked you better when you were suffering in silence and hiding that from everybody. And like that's not compatible with the way I want to live the rest of my life. So I hope that you can enjoy the fact that this is me in my happiest version of myself. And I look forward to having even happier days in the future. So I don't know. That's kind of, how your family is going to take that is you'll have to package it in particular for your situation, but that's kind of the general vibe. Water. Right there with you and actually being happy with some graying changes. Got some bit sections of the beard going gray and I like it. My mom started going gray the same age I did, around age 20, and it can look pretty sweet. Yeah. And I like it on other people that I love too. Like, I don't actually know if I've managed to communicate this effectively, so I hope that my partner isn't like annoyed by it, but I point out his white hairs. Like he's got a couple of hairs on his chest that are white, and if I see his hair, like I'll be like, "Ooh, he got one there." I like appreciate that. I'm like, look at us growing and changing. Like, look at us. I like those things about people. I don't know if I like wrinkles per se, but I'm working on it. I think I want to like wrinkles. At the moment, I mostly just feel neutral about it, which I think is healthy. Being body neutral can also be a good thing, I think. White, wait, are you saying white is better than gray is better than fake red? Or you go white and then gray and then fake red? I'm probably not going to see any of family for Christmas. Maybe I'll just need a break from each other. And that's fine. And then you'll have more time to settle into your changes and everything. And then maybe by Thanksgiving time next year, you'll feel a lot more confident. And maybe in between, you'll have some conversations and just try to focus on the well-being of your relationship outside of the context of your transness over the course of the next year. Just be involved in other ways. If you can be like, hey, happy birthday, I hope you have a great day, whatever. Obviously, if you see each other in person, they're going to be kind of directly confronted with your gender stuff. So yeah, maybe you just need a break, but still be like, if you need anything, if you need me to pick up your kids from school one day, whatever, like, please don't hesitate to ask, especially if it's something that you've already done, then just like offer your presence, be a positive influence, focus on the fact that you feel good. If somebody is going to ask you how you are, I would say be like, oh yeah, everything's going really good. Like if you're struggling, maybe now is not the time to be honest about that, because of course they're going to be like, well, of course you did this to yourself kind of thing. So as far as navigating that relationship for the next year. And so maybe next year you'll be feeling more confident and you'll be ready, and people will have mostly been thinking positively of you for the past year. Yeah. I get annoyed at older people who feel the need to color their hair red to make it look like they are younger. Yeah. I respect the choice to do something radical. If it's like bright red, especially if it's like a really unnatural looking red color. I think at one point my mother-in-law dyed her hair like purple. Actually, I don't know. Am I thinking of somebody completely else? Or maybe I just didn't see it. So I'm like, oh, maybe she didn't actually do that. She did get a tattoo. Like old lady getting a tattoo. that is on her back, so nobody ever sees it. The things you do when you feel the need to express your individuality. Sam Cedar looks better than ever because of his salt and pepper look. Yeah, is that true, like on a blanket statement, or are we just getting older and so we find people who are also getting older attractive, you know? I'm starting to really understand the appeal of men in their like 40s and 50s. I'm like, okay, I get it. I didn't really used to. I mean, I could appreciate an attractive man. Like, I'm not fucking blind. And women too. God, like fucking Marissa Tomei. Oh, I don't even think I thought that she was like, I like looking back at Marissa Tomei from when she was younger. I'm like, no, she's hotter now. People are like, my cousin Vinny, and I'm like, yeah, that was a great performance, but she's way hotter now. Purple is my natural color. I just dye it brown. True, Abigail. Like Abigail from Stardew Valley. Ha ha ha. I prefer her as Aunt May. True. True. I'm like, wow, why are you so hot right now? I'm hoping to age like my Finnish farmer grandpa, taking care not to get too much sun, but otherwise just letting what happens happen. Yeah. I have a retinol that I like retinol skincare, so I guess I'm doing a little bit against aging skin, but not like a lot. I don't think I'm ever gonna bother to get a prescription strength retinoid. Like, just doesn't feel like it's necessary. Riffs No Leads says, yeah, MILFs have always been great, and I'm now starting to enter that age demo. I don't know that I felt that way. Like, I don't think I've been like I don't think I've always been on the MILF train. Hell yeah. Southern Autism says, I just joined the Discord. Fuck yeah. It's been a little bit quiet in there recently, but I appreciate everybody hanging out. It's just, you know, I guess I could do more to make it more active, but I'm glad to, you know, have a community of people who just want to hang out. Marissa Tomei aged like a fine wine wishes it could. True. And like Kate Blanchett. Like, God. Older men can be really good looking. I agree. I guess, I don't know. Is it... It's so interesting because I work with people who are major public figures. Not major, I guess. Who are public figures in certain spaces, but who are also like now my coworkers. So if I say like, I really think Seth Andrews is pretty handsome, it's like, he's a big public figure, but also I did just speak to him personally within the last couple days. But he's got that like salt and pepper thing. He's in his 50s, I think. And like, he's got the radio voice and stuff. And I'm like, damn, handsome guy. Rhett from Good Mythical Morning. I'm like, Rhett, he's a hot dad, you know? Also, young men are now deranged. Maybe that's true too, but also like I'm in my 30s, so maybe I just appreciate older men now. I'm pretty sure Kate Blanchett is actually a Tolkien elf. True. She has the gift. Riff says, I found out early on that younger women are pretty reserved sexually, but not so much when they get to the MILF zone. Maybe that's just a personal experience, though. I see what you mean. I don't really, like, fuck women that much because I'm in a monogamous relationship. That would be great, I guess, but I haven't really had sex with many women. And when I have had sex with women, they've been, like, pretty close to my own age. So, yeah. I don't know about the older women. Never had the opportunity to partake. What? I was going to look up Catherine Hahn. Who's Catherine Hahn? I've heard the name, but I do not remember what she looks like. Yeah. I can see it. I have not really ever thought about her that way, but, you know, I can respect it. Did you know that Seth Andrews is an anagram for the phrase wet hardness? For once, that's not a bit. Always wanted to tell him that. I think he would cringe at that, but I think that he would take it in a good-natured manner. I came back from picking up an Amazon package to hear that Lux doesn't have sex with many women. What did I miss? MILFs was the topic of conversation. I was like, I've never really understood the MILF thing. It's like, I don't know, whatever. Like, I get it more now, I guess. But then the comment from the YouTube chat was that older women are a little bit more adventurous sexually. And that was what prompted me to be like, mostly I've had sex with women in their 20s because I was in my 20s and never really got to experience the older women's. Having sex with other people sounds like a lot of work to me. It can be fun. It can be a lot of work sometimes. All right. Let's rein it in a little bit here, guys. Let's rein it in a little bit. Mama Mephistopheles says, speaking of MILFs, my friend showed me an episode of is it a TV show or something called MILF Manor? And it was very weird. Like, everyone is intensely uncomfortable or just predatory. If it were DILF Manor, people would have the wherewithal to cancel the show immediately, but MILF Manor gets renewed for another season. I've never heard of this before. Is it like the Golden Bachelor, but like... Okay. So it's reality TV. It's like The Bachelor. MILF Manor is set at a beautiful lakefront chalet. Mature, hot single moms are looking to find love with younger men. Ew. So it's not like The Golden Bachelor or Bachelorette because they're trying to get people of the correct age range. This is specifically like a Cougars thing. Eh. Horny chat is getting the bonk. You've been bonked. Bonk, bonk, bonk. OMG, MILF Manor is batshit. Okay, good to know. This is my first time hearing about it. It's a bunch of MILFs dating each other's sons. What? Is that real? Mama says it's a bunch of mothers and their sons in a big house doing weirdly incestuous stuff. No. Oh no. I thought I was going to sneeze for a second there. Oh no. I just want to hide from this. I'm like, oof, that's terrible. That show is revolting. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. It sounds bad. It sounds pretty bad. Oh, jeez. I love that song, Gay Fesh. Mother Lover by The Lonely Island. It's technically a Lonely Island song, right? Even though it's like it's one of those SNL ones, or does it count as just like an SNL skit? It's peak train wreck TV. Yeah, that sounds like a train wreck. Mama says the first quote challenge was the mothers being blindfolded and picking out their sons from a lineup by feeling their bare chests. Ew. No. Why? Ew. No. No. Yes, that trilogy of songs is great. Yeah. It starts with Dick in a Box, and then it's Mother Lover, and then it's Three Way with Lady Gaga. Great songs. To impress a chick, do the helicopter dick. Go! Mr. Baby, are you itchy boy? He is an itchy boy. I am just gonna grab myself something real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, so actually what I was getting for myself was a cookie because I want a protein cookie. I'm gonna eat it very respectfully. And then I was like, ooh, I should also show you guys this cool thing that I found at the store recently. So I've been getting into this thing where I try to, any snacks that I buy, I'm trying to get like a protein version. And this I happened to see at the store. These are chips. Did I show you? Maybe I showed you the other ones and not these ones, but these are made out of chicken. Like these are chips that are made with chicken breast. What the fuck does that say? Egg whites and chicken bone broth. And they're like chips. They're like crunchy chips. These ones are just pink Himalayan salt flavor. But like, check this out. And they're delicious. It's crazy. So like, not sponsored, but bro, if this company wants to send me like a few hundred of those, I'll eat the shit out of them. And I will show you guys every time I do it. Okay. Mama says that MILF Manor is like if the lead up to stepmom porn videos was an entire TV show. Oh no. What was the brand? Wild with an E. Wild protein chips. The other flavor that I got is buffalo flavor. They're so good. I can't let myself snack anymore. Only meals. If I start snacking, I can't stop. What's amazing is these are very filling because they're protein chips. Like, 25 chips, 30 grams equals 160 calories and 10 grams of protein. So, like, honestly, these are an amazing snack for that reason because they're delicious. But once you eat, like, roughly one serving, you're like, oh, I'm actually kind of full. But this is what I was getting, which is a Quest protein cookie. So, yay, cookies. Yum. Protein Pop-Tarts. I didn't know that they had protein Pop-Tarts. Oh, that's great. Yes, the technology on protein snacks has gotten crazy in the last 10 years. Dog food ass packaging. A little bit, yeah. I wonder if I could make chicken chips in my oven. Probably. Like, they use egg whites to bind and to add protein. So bone broth is the liquid. You probably like, I don't know. How are you going to emulsify, not emulsify, that's not the right word. How are you going to grind the chicken breast to be like that smooth? I guess if you have a thing for grinding meat at home, then maybe you just do a couple pass-throughs. I don't know. Tofu jerky. Ooh, ooh. Tofu jerky. That's a great idea. I'm gonna open a tab for that just as a little reminder for myself. That's an amazing idea because you could like marinate the tofu in something and it would absorb a lot of flavor. And you could do that. You could maybe do that before or after slicing it. But like squeeze all of the liquid out of it as much as you can and then put it in a kind of marinade and then put it in the dehydrator. I bet that's amazing. Blender. Dude, in my experience, blenders fucking suck. Maybe I just have always had like pretty low quality blenders. Like that's probably true. But wow. Are they not very good at doing the job that they're supposed to do? There's protein Eggos. I have those too. I got a different brand this time, but yes, protein pancakes, protein Eggos. Put some fucking peanut butter on them, you know? Delicious. And like Greek yogurt. Oh my god, dude. Recently, okay, freeze the tofu, then thaw and press. Why would you not press it first? Anyway, I got a tab open, so I'll read more about how people do that. Um, what was I saying? Hmm. Greek yogurt is what I was saying. So even if you want to eat some regular chips, and like I do, I buy regular chips, especially the cheddar sour cream, the equivalent of a Ruffles. I usually just buy the store brand one, but those are really good. If I just took like a little bowl, put some Greek yogurt in the bowl, added a little bit of salt, a little bit of like garlic powder, and then I just used that as like a really loose dip for my chips, and God, is it good. So you get a little easy protein in. Basically, anytime you can add a little Greek yogurt to something, you probably should do that. Like I'm gonna make I make a chicken-based chili, so I'm gonna make that tomorrow. And I think instead of sour cream, I'm just gonna put Greek yogurt in mine. Boom. More protein. The keto people made one valuable contribution to society, and it's not their diet, it's the protein versions of everything. Yeah, I had no idea that you could make chips out of chicken. It's so based, like they're so good. I love them. Greek yogurt is great for your gut too. Yep. I regularly eat yogurt. I regularly drink kombucha. So I actually need to bottle my kombucha again. It's done with the first ferment now, I think. Nuvenol, that's a great point. Nuvenol says, I feel like if people call the object a food processor, it works like a charm. But the second you call it a blender, you literally can't cut a single banana. I'm not convinced they're different objects, though. Yeah, I would really love to have a high quality food processor. Right now, I can't make hummus. I can't make pesto. Um, I have a hand blender, but it sucks ass. And I have a regular blender, and it sucks ass, and it doesn't do anything that I want it to do. So the most I can do right now as far as blending capabilities is, I mean, I can make a smoothie if there's not a bunch of ice in it. Like if I'm making just or a milkshake, I guess is more accurate. If I'm making a milkshake type thing with no ice in it, then sure, I can, I can blend up some ice cream and milk and whatever banana in a smoothie milkshake type deal. But yeah, I can't basically do any of that. So that's a big thing on my list is a food processor. I'm starting to wonder if maybe I should just start, like, there's a bunch of stuff like that that I really want and would immediately improve my quality of life and my flexibility in the kitchen. And maybe I just need to put all that shit on a credit card, but I don't know. The ice crystals in the tofu that's frozen make the whole thing expand and be more airy, and then it'll soak in the marinade much better and gives it a more chewy texture. Okay, that's interesting. I'll keep that in mind. Blenders have weak motors typically compared to food processors. Okay, that makes sense. I use my blender to make hot sauces and pepper paste and stuff like that all the time. Yeah, my blender sucks ass. It just doesn't work very well at all. I guess like I want to give you a frame of reference for how many different objects I have that do this. We have a small coffee grinder that we've used for like spinning up eggshells so we don't put like food in there because there's eggshell powder all over it. I have a tiny food processor about this big that my partner bought for some specific reason that I don't remember. And I do have a magic bullet that I got from the thrift store specifically because I wanted to personally make some pistachio butter for my partner who has been unable to find it in the store. I know that we could order some on Amazon. The whole point was that he wanted to find it organically though. So at some point I just made it for him. And Then I have a shitty blender and a shitty stick blender. So I actually have a lot of machines that are made to do this job, and they all suck. They all suck. Mike and Jerry's makes a good protein cookie. These Quest ones are pretty good. I tried a different one recently from a different brand, and it was not good. Oh, hold on. I cannot mute myself because this thingy is not open. Mabs was gone for an hour, wants to know what they missed, and John Bainbridge says, lots of MILF talk. Now we're on about food. Accurate. Black Friday sales will have sales on most small appliances. Yeah, but I'm not doing Black Friday this year. Nope. It's like a really common day to boycott shopping is Black Friday through Cyber Monday. Drea says, we went from eating MILFs to eating food. True. We really do only talk about the important stuff here. MILFs and protein cookies, what more do you need, honestly? Having good food, like legitimately, there was a point in my life where I wanted to die all the time. And one of the ways that I convinced myself to stay alive was by leaning into the physical pleasures. And a big one is food. Food is literally what makes life worth living to me. So it matters to me that it's good. I think I spat some cookie out just then. I'm sorry, that was gross. I don't usually talk with my food in my mouth. Sorry. I'd never shop anywhere in person on Black Friday. I'm not looking to die. True. Mama says Black Friday was basically a regular shopping last year. The deals have been shit for a while now. I'm expecting it to be completely dead this year. Really? You were like, I went out on Black Friday and it just felt like the normal amount of shopping traffic? Damn. Oh my gosh. I'm like trying to eat food and you guys are making me laugh. Um, Drea says, friends are what make life worth living for me. Not sure about eating friends though. I don't usually talk with my mouth. Luxander 2025. True. I regret nothing. Hedonism bot. Yes. Oh man, my jaw just popped. That was crazy. People were posting videos last year of all these Black Friday sales having almost no customers. Yeah. The one time I went shopping on Black Friday was I knew someone who was going to be having a surgery that they would likely die from that day. And so I just couldn't sleep and I got up really early and I went and stood in line outside of Target with my dad at like 4 a.m. or whatever. And that's the only time I've gone shopping. I got my big fluffy bathrobe at that trip to Target. So that was fun. And yes, my friend did die. Or I don't know how close we were. Wouldn't say friends perhaps, but the person that I knew did die in that surgery as far as I know. So that's a bummer. But yeah. That's the only time I've gone black. I was just like depressed and needed to get out of the house. I got a blender for making lentil pancakes and 7 pounds worth of lentils, and I still haven't used it yet. question about boycotts. Have you ever gotten to a point where you hit a limit and felt like you couldn't cut something out, or felt like you couldn't keep track of boycotts you felt were important? This most recent like Disney thing, I was like, boys, I cannot care. Like this, yes, they're capitulating to fascism and all this shit. I'm like more likely to get rid of my, so because I pay for the three, I pay for Hulu, Disney Plus, and HBO. And I was like, I don't really have a good alternative to all three of these right now. I already don't have Netflix, you know, and I watch movies a lot, and it's an important form of escapism for me, and also it's something that I have access to for my job technically, because I'm starting to try to do more like video essay type stuff or literary analysis type stuff, at least with movie analysis, movie reviews. So yeah, that one was a big one where I was like, I fucking can't, you guys. Like, I cannot possibly care about this. I don't buy, let me just tell you all the things that are living in my head at all times, okay? I don't buy Barilla brand pasta because of homophobia. I don't eat at Chick-fil-A. What else do I boycott? I don't get anything from Starbucks ever because of the union busting for the most part. And like there are like so many things where I'm like, oh, I do like this brand, or and that's like aside from the fact that there's also an entire inventory I have to keep in my brain of, well, my husband prefers this, or like, you know, my younger sibling doesn't like this. What you know, like, oh my God. I'm actually gonna text my partner real quick. Okay, there we go. Why are you tagging me? Okay, nope, that has nothing to do with me. Okay. Oh my gosh, guys. I'm so curious. So we are going to be, no Hobby Lobby. On the line, we have an annual mug contest. And it's basically to help us with the fact that our views and stuff drop in January and February. We do this little like big event where people buy merch in December. And so it's the mug contest. And so something I've said, or something funny, or something that is like related to do with me, or something that I would have said, or something can go on a mug. And they'll put some kind of art on it probably too. Like Arden's from last year just says, leave trans people TF alone. And mine has a couple of Christmas ornaments on it, and it says, gender is stored in the balls. So that's a couple from last year. So I need to come up with something. If you guys would help me, that would be great. I have to submit this soon. I have to have a plan soon. Excuse me. I'll watch Stranger Things and then cancel my Netflix again. Yeah. There's several things that you guys say I should watch, and they're on Netflix, and I'm going to have to just get Netflix for a month and just only do Netflix-related projects for a minute. Bandrew True. It's Dave Chappelle versus Nimona over there on Netflix. Yeah, Nimona is on the list. K-pop Demon Hunters, I guess, is on the list. Forrest recommended that I watch Over the Garden Wall. So I actually did start watching that last night. It's super easy. It's like 10-minute episodes. I think I got like 3 episodes down, and then I was like, I'm going to get ready for bed now. Bandrew Mug, #Bandrew. I don't know if we are allowed to put like direct call-outs to callers on the mugs. I'll consider it though. Recently we got into an argument with Tomris, I think it was, who he said he was against homosexuality, and when I pressed him on that, he was like, well, because it can give you cancer. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I guess butt sex gives you cancer? And he was basically just equating being homosexual with having HIV and being like, well, HIV can increase your likelihood of getting cancer. So I did think it would be funny to put butt sex gives you cancer on a mug, but we're not doing that. I don't think we should. And I was like, LOL, Jimmy, this is funny, but I don't think we should. And he was like, I also don't think we should, although I do find that very funny. I'm like, that's the only reason I told you, because I thought you would find it funny. I would love to watch Del Toro's Frankenstein. I love Oscar Isaac, and I would love to see that movie. I plan to see it. I've been boycotting McDonald's since the 90s. Fair enough. Over the Garden Wall is actually available on Hulu and Disney Plus, though, so I'm watching it on Disney Plus. I've been boycotting Harbor Freight for a bit, but only because their ads are aggressive, annoying, and incessant. My husband loves Harbor Freight. I've muted you, mug. Yeah, perhaps. Gender blender. It could just say non-binary mug. That's true. Put the gender blender on merch. Yeah. Get bulk pasta from Winco. It's so much cheaper, and Winco is 100% employee owned. I might check that out. If Winco has like a pickup service, I might actually be interested in checking them out. I just buy fucking Walmart brand stuff for the most part, which is probably terrible for us, but you know, it's cheap. You'll never ever fucking guess what happens in episode whatever. That's a sick show. Over the Garden Wall? Yeah, I've been really enjoying it. Forrest was like, I want you to watch this because I am at odds with the community of people who've seen it with regards to the symbolism of Over the Garden Wall. To be clear, I'm planning to watch the show and think about it and then talk to Forrest about it without watching any theories, or I'm not going to look into any symbolism or anything that anybody else has looked at. I really want to just have a clean, clear, my own kind of thoughts and analysis. But it's right up my alley. Basically, Forrest was like, do you think about death very much, or what? Something like that. And I was like, yeah, like more than most people, I think. And he was like, okay, you should watch Over the Garden Wall. Oh, we were talking about Adventure Time. So I recently started watching Adventure Time, and he was like, okay, if you like Adventure Time, you should also watch Over the Garden Wall. For the mug idea, I suggest be gay, civilly disobey. Okay. I miss Winco. You moved away from the Winco area? Oh, Drea. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I got the pickles. You were talking about the pickles, and I got them. I got the pickles. I got the Grillo's pickles. These are really interesting. So I decided to get some of the pickle chips, and oh man, these are delicious. And so it's really interesting. I don't know that I've had a pickle that has this much of an evolution before. Like the initial flavor, and oh my god, my mouth is watering. There's the initial pickle flavor, but then it's like there's the other stuff that really starts to hit, like the garlic and like maybe even some like onion powder type thing going on. I don't know. Mm. They're so good. Mm. And I've even been feeling like I don't like pickles as much recently, which is so strange because I've always loved pickles. I think I'm just getting a little bit over the vinegar flavor. But these are they're so delicious. Like they're so good. I love them. I literally just can sit here and eat them. Ah, like, mmm. Thank you so much for recommending this to me. I love Adventure Time. Do you think about death often? I'm sure that there was some context to the conversation. Like, why did I bring up? I don't remember who it was that brought up Adventure Time, but I don't know. Like, honestly, okay, here's a little inside baseball for you guys. When I'm producing a show with Forrest, a lot of the time, Forrest has some absolutely depressing thoughts he wants to share before the beginning of the stream. He's like, "Oh my god, healthcare in this country," or whatever. Like, so sometimes he's so interesting. He's so like peppy on stream and stuff. Like he's got this like really positive energy, but also like such a macabre kind of brain. Um, but I appreciate that, you know? I want to compliment him sometime on his. I didn't get the chance. I was about to compliment him on his skulls in the background when the co host joined when we were talking about death and stuff. And, but I'm like, I have a little skull in my background, you know? I've got my little bobcat skull, and he's got a bunch of skulls and like pelvises and stuff in the background. I'm like, good friends. We're going to be good buddies. Mm. I don't know what we're talking about the good place for, but that was a good show. Mm. Adventure Time is my personal all-time greatest work of fiction, so maybe that's fair. Yeah. I we sat down and watched it while we were doing something, and I think we got as far as I think that I just met Marceline, and then we didn't get much further beyond that. I can't even remember what the context was of Marceline being introduced. I just remember being like, "It's her." Yeah, hey baby, nice skull. First thing you say when the co-host joins, "I love your bones." True. Mm. Are pickle people and olive people friends or rivals? Hold on. I'm gonna put these away before I keep eating them. But hold on, 1 second. Hold on. What was that you were saying about pickle people and olive people and how they're different people? Oh my god, please kill me. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Where? I need like a cloth or something. Hold on. No. Ow. My hands are very weak. Okay, here we go. So yeah, you were saying something about pickle people versus olive people. Is that am I hearing that correctly? Am I hearing that correctly? These have chipotle instead of pimento. These have like chipotle pepper stuffed into them, and I think they're very delicious. Um, mmm, yummy. Ah, I have a really low salt tolerance, and I do not like vinegar. I need extra salt because I have POTS, and this is like a great way to get it. Like something about like the fattiness too. I think like olives are such a great way, and I can eat like 20 of them in a very short period of time, and it's wonderful. Mm. Mm. I found out that spironolactone can sometimes make you crave pickles. Yeah, Spiro is a diuretic, and you actually need salt in order for like water to penetrate your cells, which is why we need water. Or sorry, that's why we need salt to live. Like we can't live without salt. Um. So yeah, I just have a thing that's happening inside my body all the time. That's kind of like taking a diuretic in the sense that there will be times where I keep drinking water and immediately peeing it out, and it's because I don't have enough salt in my body. So, kind of the same thing as what you girlies deal with on Spiro. Mm. Mm. It's so yummy. I don't like sour things. Yeah, I guess these are kind of sour, huh? Spiro means I am permanently slightly dehydrated. Cannot wait for bottom surgery. If you don't already, getting some of those electrolyte powders, they actually work so well, like shockingly well. because it's not just salt that you need. You also need other electrolytes like potassium and magnesium. So those electrolyte powders, I don't like the way that it tastes, but I basically just treat it like medicine. I get a cup, I put the powder in there, I put the water in there, I whisk it with my little frother, and then I chug it. Just chug it. And then within like 10 minutes, I feel better. And it's fucking amazing, actually. Delicious. So yummy. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this now. Okay, I'm back now. Ha ha ha! The electrolyte powders are expensive. Potassium is usually found alongside high sodium foods, and magnesium I get from pills. I'm just saying, like, it could be that, like, you would not feel permanently slightly dehydrated anymore. I know that they're expensive, like, but if you're only doing it, you can't do them constantly. You're supposed to only do like one per day of the liquid IV, which I bought recently just to try them out. That's not the brand that I want to do. I want to use the Relight brand because I Googled around and was like, which one is supposed to be the most effective one? Or like which one has the most salt content might have been a part of that assessment. But yeah, so if you're limited to only one per day and you buy a box and there's like 20 in the box, then like, okay, that's like 3 weeks worth. Assuming you do one every day. Don't you not need extra potassium on Spiro? Yeah, maybe potassium on Spiro. I'm actually not sure. Does it hold on? Okay, yeah. Southern Autism does say that with Spiro you do hold on to potassium. Okay, so maybe that's less helpful for strictly Spiro. Thank you so much for saying something. I appreciate that. Emily says, I was also told to be careful about magnesium intake on Spiro. Really? Liquid IV is so salty. Yeah, but my frame of reference for this is like every morning, just about, I walk over to my salt well, which is just the thing of salt that I keep in my kitchen so that I can grab pinches of salt while I'm cooking. I go to my salt well and I grab a pinch of salt and I put it in my mouth and then I take a glass of water and I drink it like a pill. So that's my frame of reference for saltiness is like, hey, take a literal handful of salt and just eat it. So that's what life is like for me. Trinket says, I was told to increase magnesium. Oh, Emily says it was actually potassium to avoid and not magnesium. That was a mistake. Got it. No worries. It's ginger lemon kombucha time. Be careful with that ginger because ginger and lemon actually both can kill off a kombucha. So you got to be restrained with those. Magnesium is a muscle relaxant. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. I have magnesium glycinate that I'm supposed to take when I'm having like muscle cramps and stuff. I probably should just take it every day. I'm just not good at taking things every day. I think this sucks to me because it's labeled strawberry, so when it tastes salty, it throws me off. I mean, it doesn't taste good. It's not going to taste good. I got the lemon lime one because I drink fucking lemon water every day. And I still am just like, I drink it and then I'm like, and then I reach for this and I'm like, and then I feel better. It's not pleasant. It's just a thing that I have to do or I feel like shit, you know? In January, had a couple days where my sodium was too low and my potassium was too high, and the electrolyte imbalance made me feel worse than ever. Oh, okay. How did you happen to get a blood test right then, or how did you know what the problem was? Magnesium salts in a bath is a great way to absorb magnesium without it bothering your gut. I've heard of people doing like a spray where they like actually my sister-in-law recommended to me because my husband has super restless legs, and at a period of time we lived in her house, and I was talking to her all the time, and she was like, "Oh yeah, you can get a spray that has magnesium in it and it will absorb." And I'm like, my husband's not gonna fucking do that. I am married to a cis man. He is just like a lot of cis men in this way, where it's like you kind of have to make things easy for him. And it doesn't seem to bother him very much that he has restless legs. It bothers me more than it bothers him, except on the nights when it's most extreme for him. Yeah, anyway. So if it's a pill, though, I might be able to get him to do it. So I actually just need to get another one of these and just give it to him and be like, hey, take this every day, please, or I'll kill you. I'm thinking about getting a new mattress, though, because of this is one of the issues. But if we can do this and I can save fucking $3,000 to $5,000 right now. I'm anemic and keep forgetting to take my iron supplements. Yeah, I actually probably need to be taking iron right now because so I have this birth control thing in my arm, and recently I had a period for the first time in a while, and it was like a normal period, and it lasted a little bit less than a week, and then I stopped bleeding, and then about a week later I started bleeding again, and now it's been 31 days of just bleeding every day. And I want to kind of die a little bit. I'm so dysphoric and I hate it so much. I hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. And there is a trick that you're supposed to be able to do where you can just take like ibuprofen or something, and or you take like a little bit too much ibuprofen for a couple of days and then the periods will stop. But like I don't have a doctor right now, so I probably should wait. But yeah, I mean, like, maybe I should be taking an iron supplement because I guess this is just my fucking life now. Like, it's supposed to happen when you first start this birth control, where it's like, yeah, the first 6 to 7 months you might just bleed all the time. And I did my time. I was like, I did it. I did my 7 months of bleeding, and I'm done now. Nope. I genuinely, like, I find this so agitating that I'm like, I would eat a bullet, but I wouldn't. But also, I fucking want to die a little bit. But also, it's just a horrible combination of things to feel. That's a good goal. Yeah, that's a good way to do it, John. I keep my vitamins beside my bed. I wake up and see them immediately. Get water, eat pill, start day. Does not require remembering anything. That's a good point. This is, I don't know. Some stuff is supposed to be like at different times of the day, or like multiple times a day. I don't know. My last birth control made me bleed every 2 weeks, so I stopped. Yeah, it's just that this is like more effective than a vasectomy. And it's supposed to last for 3 years, and I have only had it for a little bit longer than a year. And I don't want to switch, and I don't want to start a new birth control, and I don't want to fucking deal with this. So, yeah, I just kind of feel like death right now. Hey, congrats, Emily. I hope you get your Orky figured out soon. That's exciting. Oh, hold on. Sarah McBride is slandering the good name of bisexuals. Hold up. By using us to advocate for big tent centrism. Hold on. Oh, God. Sarah McBride explains how the Democrats' big tent is bisexual. Wow. What the fuck? McBride was asked about a comment she'd made weeks earlier that Democrats have, quote, sort of been assholes to voters. Smiling at the mention, she leaned into the question rather than away from it. She says, it's true. Voters fundamentally ask 2 questions. Does this candidate like me? And what does this candidate think? Are you fucking insane? I don't ever think, does this candidate like me? I mean, like I was talking earlier about, like, it feels good that Zoran is, like, fighting for trans people, but it has nothing to do with me personally. I don't live in New York. That's such a weird thing to say. I care what this candidate thinks. Anyway, She paused before adding, "You can't build a diverse working class coalition of if people don't feel like you like them, and that means not being assholes to our base either." She says, "A big tent is bisexual. That means it goes both ways. It starts with us being kind to one another, being respectful to one another, and being welcoming to one another." I'm sorry, I just think that she's an idiot. She's cooking but has no ingredients. Fucking true. What kind of arrogance is that? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what any of that means. That's not what bisexuality is. Yeah, no. Everything about that is terrible. I want Verily Bitchy to make a video entirely dedicated to this one remark by Sarah McBride. Ah! Oh man, I just forgot I can't rub my eyeballs. Oh man. You ever see women who are like, they're crying or something and they're like, and it's like they're just trying to get that liquid away so that it doesn't ruin their makeup. Honestly, this didn't take very long today. I'm finally starting to get a little bit faster at my makeup. Fuzzy Logic, yeah. Thank you so much for the 5 quid. Hi Lux, hi chat, just dropping in after work. I hope everyone is safe and well. Yeah. You've come in right in the last 15 minutes or so. I'm planning on getting out of here at 5. But it's great to see you, and thank you so much for donating. I don't think we're going to make it to the donation goal today, but that's okay. Just say we're at $28 now out of a possible, or a goal of 100. That's okay, though. I'm sitting here trying to figure out if I should get health insurance next year, and I think that the answer is no. Like, if I look at... I need my kid to put together a... At least she's not a Fetterman bro. I don't think she's much better. I always have this problem when I decide to wear mascara. Just like, I'm trying not to touch my eyeball. Anyway, what was I in the middle of saying? I don't know what I was saying. Hey, she could be worse. She could be Brianna Wu. Fucking true. I saw that video of Erica Kirk in child beauty pageant makeup, patting away non-existent tears. Is that what you're talking about? That was not what I was talking about. I thought it was so cute. I got recommended a video from Alyssa's channel. I love Alyssa. I really like her. I like all of my coworkers, but I love some of them. And one of them is Alyssa. But it's been recommended to me now several times, and this is the thumbnail. The call that made us cry. And then they're both like, they're doing this thing. And I'm like, I do that now. Now that I wear makeup, I also do that. If I wear makeup, it's only for a few minutes and pictures because I will forget and touch my face. Yeah. When you're wearing eyeliner, at least smudging it kind of creates a new and exciting, different look. Like the smudgy look, the sleeping in your eyeliner look. I refer to Sarah McBride as that disappointment. Not even a great one, just a boring one. Oh, I need my kid to put together, like a list of like all of the health needs that they are going to have over the next year, which might include things like seeing a nutritionist for ARFID or something. And like figuring out what all of that would cost. And like, I genuinely do think that it would cost less for us to all be in therapy if we didn't, I don't know. I was looking at an insurance plan that had like, it was like a $550 a month premium. So it's like, okay. And then mental health visits are $15. I'm like, okay, so blah, blah, blah. If my kid was getting therapy once a week and it was $15 per time, then whatever. And it was like a 0 deductible plan. So I'm like, okay, so am I about to start spending almost $600 a month on the two of us having health insurance? Is that going to be worth it? Are we going to get that much worth of services next year? Are we going to, if each therapy session would have cost $200, then like how much money are we saving? I wear clown makeup and when I mess it up, it doesn't necessarily ruin the vibe. True. I'm so horrible at eyeliner. If I'm being honest, I'm not very good at it either. Like, this is more janky than you think. It's definitely, especially this eye, the lines are not straight. But we figure it out. Prepping for bottom surgery aftercare. Hell yeah. Is your income too high for marketplace credit? That is the price after the marketplace credit. Like, I think that our income is low enough and there's enough people in the household that, like, we do qualify for some assistance, but, like, not very much. And, like, I guess to be fair, like, I want to be clear, you guys, like, yes, I am a streamer. That, like, I make money streaming and, like, self-employed and working for Jimmy. My husband has a full-time job. So, and he makes like $20 an hour or something. So, like, I don't ever want people to think like, oh, Luxander is really seriously struggling and suffering. Like, we are on a tighter budget because we moved up here and my husband took a pay cut because he was like a flooring installer and now he doesn't do that anymore. He does a related job, but it's not the same, not the same income. So, yeah, I'm okay. But not okay enough to, like, afford health insurance. So at least not if I want to save up for a house. It's like, it's kind of that time in my life where I would like to be able to buy a house. And also, Oregon is supposed to have the first in this country, the first universal health care, probably in the next 5 years or something. So it's like, can you just roll the dice and not get health insurance for the next 5 years and hope that by the time like that rolls around, like that nothing bad happens, and then like, okay, maybe then I can think about getting pregnant or something if I have universal health care by 2030. Like, and that's I guess kind of the optimistic timeline. I looked at this recently, actually. I'm so queer I can't even draw a straight line. That's fucking true. Yeah, the new fucking 50-year mortgage is coming out. That's exciting. So the present timeline, Healthcare for All Oregon is the nonprofit organization that provides the most information about this. Nonprofit organization that provides the most information. Great. So there was a task force created in the year 2019, which was tasked with designing a publicly funded single-payer universal healthcare system. From the years 2019 to 2022, the task force conducted research and had a lot of public input from all regions. Then they presented a report in 2022, including a concept plan that shows that a single payer system is possible, will provide better care to more people, and will save money. And the report included recommendations for next steps and a timeline. There then was a governance board created in 2023. This governance board will design a detailed, publicly funded, single-payer universal healthcare system for recommendation to the Oregon legislature. The extensive work of the governance board will ensure that the plan is done right. That is where we are currently. The governance board actually was scheduled to submit their plan this year, but I think that has been pushed a little bit forward, so they're working on it. But basically, so this is, when people are like, where are you going to get the money from? Where are you going to get the money from? That's what they're doing right now. They're working on how can we increase funding, or if we are not engaging in the healthcare marketplace, like if people no longer have to pay premiums, they can choose to probably, but if they don't have to anymore, then what new taxes can we implement to make sure this gets paid for, et cetera, et cetera. That's what we're working on right now. Putting together a rock solid plan. Here's how we would fund it. Here's how it would be executed. Boom, 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 boom. That's why it's taking like multiple years to put together, because this is when people like point their finger at socialists and anarchists and stuff, and they're like, how would we do this? How would we do that? How would we do that? That's what's happening currently. So next steps, the plan is supposed to be delivered sometime in the year 2026. Hold on, did it not show up? Oh, it doesn't show up when wait, did I goof it? Does it not show up when I'm in this? Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that I had goofed that up. Hold on, let me fix that. Does it just not play the alert box? It's supposed to, and it just didn't. Maybe it was because I transferred between one screen and the other one. I'm so sorry it didn't show up on screen the way it's supposed to. Thank you for the fuzzy logic with a $78 dono who said, don't be so sure about not hitting the goal tonight. I had some unexpected overtime, so not everyone gets to see what's in the chest. Heart, thank you. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. I'm glad that you got some overtime, and thank you for sharing that around. I'm excited to get paid later this month too. I worked fucking hard in October, and I am going to get paid real good at the end of the month. That's going to be like my Christmas paycheck for any amount of money that goes into Christmas, which might be not very much actually. I was just thinking like my partner doesn't really have much of a budget, and my younger sibling doesn't have a job or a budget. So if I'm not receiving any Christmas presents, I'm not sure that I'm going to put a huge amount of money into anybody else's Christmas either. That just seems fair. But anyway, the chest. Wah! It's not a mimic. It's not a mimic. But someone mysteriously keeps putting stuff in here. You know, somebody is mysteriously. I don't know who it is. Somebody's communicating with me through this. You remember this last week? It said it loved me with something that doesn't want to show up very well. Okay. Whoever this strange, interesting person is, what mysteries do you have for us this day? What? Oh my. Okay, hold on. Do not. Okay. Now you go over there. You go over there and you don't cause trouble. Cause no trouble. Cause no trouble. I got a fossil. Oh, hey, look at that. It's an ammonite. It's an ammonite, I believe. Look at it. That's very cool. Ooh, it's got some texture. Ooh, especially over here, there's texture. Ooh, you can even see the texture. Ooh, that's neat. Actually, it's like, the whole thing is that, hold on, I kind of thought that this was just dirt, but the lines are there too. So it's the whole thing is like spiraling and spiraling, and then it comes and spirals out this way. That's fucking cool. Baby pink on white. Why didn't that work on camera? Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a highlighter maybe. So like something about highlighter ink doesn't show up correctly. Even way over here, it's like doesn't want to at that certain reflective angle. It's just like, nope, I give up. Now I have a fossil for my bones collection. Anyway, thank you so much, Fuzzy Logic, for that dono. I really, really, really appreciated it. Oh my god, excuse me. It's not a sticker. Give that chatter a refund. You know what? If they show up, if the stickers magically show up in the box, then, you know, we'll consider that a win. Fun fact, ammonite is the creature, amatite is the fossil. Ammolite is the crystal in the fossil. That's fun. The AI stuff you mentioned in your camera may be editing out the pinkish or skin-colored text. Possibly. It could just be the camera, yeah. The next camera upgrade, guys, the next best camera that I could get for myself is fully $1,000 camera. Like, if I was going to upgrade to a better camera, it would fully be like, yo, get ready to spend $1,000 on a camera with a lens. It's like the camera itself isn't that expensive. You can get a used camera. I can't remember which one it was. It's like it's a mirrorless camera that Jimmy recommended. But it's like, yeah. You'll have to spend a lot of money on a lens. Anyway, I was talking to you about the Oregon legislature and the governance board plan. So from this point, the governance board will submit the recommended plan in 2026, which then means that the Oregon legislature can actually do something with it. What camera are you using now? This is the, what is this? It's the Elgato Pro. I don't remember what it's called. Anyway, one of three possible things will happen. The Oregon legislature will create the Oregon single payer plan and basically roll that out in 2027. The legislature will turn the governance board's plan into a legislation, into law, creating a single payer universal healthcare plan for Oregon. Boom. Or the Oregon legislature will bring this in front of Oregon voters, putting a ballot measure out in 2027 or 28. The Oregon legislature could take no action at that time. And at that point, HCAO and the advocates will collect signatures for a ballot initiative. So even if the official stance from our elected officials is to do nothing to make this plan move forward, this exact plan can still get on the Oregon ballot. And then they predict that a single payer plan will roll out around 2030. The task force's report showed that it will take 2 years to fully implement the plan. The governance board will work out the details of the transition. When implementation is complete, every Oregonian will have access to quality, affordable healthcare with no deductibles, copays, or other out-of-pocket expenses. Everybody will be covered, nobody will be underinsured, and Oregon will save a lot of money. I was also arguing with someone online about this. LOL, I told you I don't do that anymore, but I am weak. I was arguing with somebody and I was like, yeah, you're right. It's time for us to move to single payer. You know, this is bullshit. And they were like, oh, and who's going to pay for it? And I was like, oh, so funny you ask. People have studied this. They've looked at people, what do people pay in taxes when they have a national health service versus what do people pay? I mean, you argue with people on the line all the time. No, you're right. I just am not supposed to do it in my free time. And I was doing it on Facebook. So I'm not supposed to do it outside of work. But I was. And I was like, oh yeah, Lil Mao, like, yeah, we should go to single payer or whatever. Or not single payer. That's not, yeah, it is. Single payer is the right word. Yeah, we need to move to universal healthcare. And they were like, Lil Mao, how are you going to pay for it? And I said, yo, okay, so here's the thing. We pay like a third, like countries who have national health service pay like a third of what we pay in healthcare premiums and copays and shit. And like, I don't think that even includes when we have like, we get charged for the big stuff, you know? Like, I think that that's just, or maybe, I don't know, like, I guess I would have to look further into the data because I just kind of glanced around at some of the like highlight data that gets published without looking further into it. So I don't actually know if there's I don't know exactly what the details are, but in any case, I was like, yeah, so you're going to pay a third of what you currently pay in premiums in taxes. And what you get out of that is no wait times, no copays, no cost whatsoever, never denied, never waiting for a prescription to be filled, never getting bounced around between doctors, never get a surprise bill, any of that. So it's clearly worth it. And I think I said to them, like, lucky you live in the first state that's going to get universal health care. Jackass. It does, man. Who was it? Okay, I was watching a Humanist Report video yesterday, and he included some clips from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And she's so right. Like, I do fucking hate right-wingers on a level, but also I want them to have affordable healthcare or like universal healthcare. I think that they and their children should have access to food at a low, reduced, or free cost. Like, I think, my utopic society, I also want them to have all those things. And that's such a, I'm like, God, I want you to have all those things and then shut the fuck up forever and get away from me. Like, I want to build my perfect society, and I guess you get to live in it. Like, I fucking guess you get to live in it, but you're an asshole and you don't deserve it. So it's kind of feels weird internally to be like, yeah, fuck you, actually. But also, like, begrudgingly, yes, I want you to have all the good things. Like, I don't think that just because your belief system, you shouldn't have these things, but also fuck you. It's such a weird feeling. Good night, Mama. Yes, Mama Mephistopheles has a debate thing she's doing on TikTok later. So I'm actually about to get out of here momentarily. Americans pay hundreds of dollars a month, whereas Canadians pay hundreds of dollars a year. And I'm sure that that's only like for pretty major stuff, right? Like, I don't think you guys are paying casually. Why doesn't anyone try to sell it with the angle of employers won't have to pay for it, because most people aren't employers. Like, what, who are you gonna convince? Like, I don't give a shit that my husband has health insurance and it's paid for 100% by his employer. If we were to get group health insurance through the insurance that his employer has, it would be $2,000 a month that we would have to pay just to add the two of us to my husband's healthcare plan. So, but I don't give a shit. Like, it's a tax write-off for the business. It's literally a tax write-off for the business. If I gave myself health insurance, I could write it off as a taxable thing, like non-taxable income or whatever. So I guess that's another thing I have to consider. I really need to like meet with a financial advisor or something. I talked to a CPA, but I actually don't think I want to proceed with doing business with her, because when I asked her about health insurance, she recommended a Christian thing to me, and I'm like, maybe I will not have you handling my sensitive documents, perhaps. But yeah, anyway, I don't know why anyone would care about this idea. Like, oh, well, your employer doesn't have to pay for it. Congress isn't trying to sell it to the people. Like, to be clear, I don't think we're going to get a national universal health care ever, probably. I think the United States is going to collapse before we get universal health care. My state that I moved to, and this wasn't even part of my calculation with moving up here, it's just a happy accident that the state of Oregon is moving to provide universal health care for people who live here. So, yeah. I don't really know how we could possibly make movements on this on a national level. Like, it's just fucking literally not going to happen. Yes, a large portion of Congress is being paid by insurance companies. Now, I don't know how many that is, so I don't know that I can commit to the idea that it's a large portion, but enough of them have an interest in this that makes it a major problem, right? This was the crux issue that was at the center of the government shutdown, was that, okay, and like, if you guys, I don't know if you guys remember, I was quite young when the ACA passed. I wasn't really paying as much attention to all this shit back then, but the Affordable Care Act, what everybody calls Obamacare, that was the Heritage Foundation's position. That was the Republicans' answer to the fact that Democrats were about to start pushing more aggressively for universal health care. The ACA was the Republicans' idea to force everyone to buy private insurance. And now they took away the mandate. They're like, whatever, oh, the mandate, oh, because Obama signed it, we're going to complain about the mandate and act like that's Obama trying to screw the American public. And now there's no mandate. Okay, so you don't get a fee anymore, I don't think, if you don't have health insurance. Like, the fine that you get at the end of the year was less than what it would have cost to be insured at that time. And now the Republicans are like, we're trying to take away healthcare from people, which is so crazy. Like, I don't really understand what the point of this one is. And I don't know if I will understand what the point of this one is, because here's the thing. If you take away those subsidies, then more people are going to drop out of health insurance. And the way that insurance works is the more people buy insurance, the cheaper it can be, because then basically, like, for each time they have to pay out, they have a bunch of healthy people paying in. So they have a bunch of customers that are paying in and they're not paying out for. So when they need to pay out, they have plenty of money to do it with, I guess, right? But if you run into this situation where there are fewer and fewer people paying in because they can't afford it, the healthy people who are like, yeah, well, I'm healthy, so I don't really need health insurance, this is too expensive, and then they drop out. And then the premium prices go up for everybody who is paying into the program, which means that even more people drop out and don't have health insurance. So if the original purpose of the ACA, which was recommended by the radical right organization, the Heritage Foundation, and was the Republican suggestion, like the Republican point, then, like, I don't really understand what the point of this is. As far as, like, is this going to make any of their best friends money? Like, are they going to make money off the insurance, or what is the deal? This was originally Romney Care. Yeah, truly. The employers only offer it because the law requires them to. Yeah, fucking true. That's why they buy the cheapest thing. OMG, I thought when you said when the ACA passed, you were referring to the atheist community of Austin fallout, and that phrasing made me laugh. Yeah, no, not this time. John says, my take is that Trump wants people to die. This is enforced eugenics. The lockdown threat was lose healthcare or lose food. Either way, people die, and that's the way Trump likes his threats. Yeah, I could see that being the case, perhaps. Feels like some weird accelerationist junk rather than anything else. Yeah, but like, I think the more immediate form of accelerationism would be to continue denying people food. But I guess the Republicans were like, well, we cannot continue to hold the American people hostage in this way because the courts are commanding us to send the money and then the states are doing it without our permission. So they kind of lost on that. Like they lost on the SNAP issue. So maybe because they're like, oh yeah, so we are not being allowed to starve the American people. So they had to swerve into a different form of accelerationism. I don't really know. I guess they were like, either way, it's accelerationism. They're raising the rates because the subsidies are going away. Okay, that's two different things though. So the subsidies are going away. That means that people are going to be charged more because there's no subsidy. That doesn't mean the rates have gone up. The rates go up when a bunch of people drop their health care, like when a bunch of people drop their health insurance. So I don't think they're raising the rates directly because the subsidies are going away, but rather it's like a this, then that kind of thing. Is it Trump or the ghouls in his cabinet? Yeah, I guess I say Trump as like the, I don't know, the kind of catch-all. I went and did a whole entire members stream and Lux is still going. Mucho staminas. Yeah, I guess like typically it's a 4-hour stream, but I'm about to quit right now at the 3-hour mark so that I can hang out and play some games online tonight with a friend. You know, generally chill the fuck out and stuff. So anyway, yeah, who the fuck knows why anything's happened? Food riots would have been too quick for them, I think. Oh, okay, so you think maybe that they need the societal collapse to happen like a little bit slower? Because I think everybody had this sense that like if we run out of food, cities are going to be lit on fire. Like there's no way around that. So maybe they want to wait a little bit. Maybe they want to have a more full deployment of ICE and National Guard across the country. The insurance companies are already raising the premiums 30%. I think that they're doing it in anticipation of a bunch of people dropping from their health insurance. So they're now showing like, hey, next year, this is what we're expecting to charge people. But I would also not be surprised if they're just like, oh, well, we can arbitrarily raise the amount because everybody seems to think that they can continue arbitrarily raising the amount. Oh, my landlord just randomly decided to increase my rent. That happened to me this year. I'm like, what services are you offering me? Is there any increase in the services you're offering me? Are you adjusting anything else about the services you provide? Like, no? Okay, so you're just charging me more for no fucking reason. Great. Okay, cool. Anyway, okay. So thanks everybody so much for hanging out and bitching with me. Thanks for kvetching with me. I feel a little bit better. And I feel better enough that I get to go hang out and play World of Warcraft with my buddy and try to have a good night. And I get to eat shrimp Alfredo tonight, which is gonna be yummy, yummy, yummy. Delicious. Forced to raise prices due to thinking of larger number. True. Yeah, my landlord was forced to raise prices due to them thinking of a larger number. But yeah, Trump is a figurehead. He is clearly demented and losing his functionality, both mentally and physically, in a rapid decline because he's in his fucking 80s or whatever. And yeah, anyway, so love you guys. I will plan to see you again soon. I think I'm just planning to... I don't know what the plan is tomorrow. I'm going to be on Calling It Now, but I don't know if I'm going to be on Takis. I think that Arden might have that spot. I'll solidify that with her tonight. Or double check the thumbnails. Is it going to be Arden tomorrow? I assume that she would have updated it if it was going to be someone else. Riverboat Jack is supposed to be on tomorrow on Takis, so there's a little teaser for you. I just don't remember. I just don't know who's. Okay, Arden is planning on doing Takis tomorrow with Riverboat Jack, and then I will be on Calling It Now for the afternoon show, and then I'll see you guys on Sunday for our show. That's the plan. All right, love you. Bye. Doom doom doo doo doom doo 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 doo. That's what plays at the end of all the Lion shows. So now you get to have that in your head because I do. Doop doop doo doo doop doo 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 doo.